Chapter 1074. Visiting a Friend? The craftsman lord is visiting a friend. Are we just going to wait here stupidly? From what I see, we should first head to the primal star to explore. Who knows, there might be some opportunities. The primal star has been open for a total of 1,000 eras. It's just starting now, it's still very early. Right, there's no rush at all. We'll wait and see the craftsman lord and ask him to help us craft treasures. With the treasures we'll head to the primal star and get even more treasures. Let's go, let's go. Let's wait slowly. The warriors from the various regions of the universe were disappointed and began to return to their residences. And in the distance, the 500 warriors that were kneeling and begging for a master were similarly disappointed. However, they remained kneeling and didn't dare to get up. Even though the craftsman lord wasn't here now, they believed that every move they made here would be monitored by warriors who would report back to the craftsman lord their desire to learn, whether they were sincere or not. It was also very important. If they weren't sincere enough in kneeling and begging, they would be easily eliminated. Yuluo, let's go. If we want to meet the craftsman lord, we'll probably have to wait for thousands to tens of thousands of years. Yonghe Knight said. Luo Feng awoke from his thoughts, nodding and smiling, returning with Yonghe Knight to their respective residences. Standing in front of the door, Luo Feng looked up at the craftsman mountain. Visiting a friend? That means the craftsman lord isn't here. It's a rare opportunity. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. I have to catch him. After waiting here for half a year, no matter what Luo Feng thought of, if the craftsman lord were to guard the mountain, it would be a dream for him to even think about taking the black metal board away. The craftsman god mountain is the sacred land of the entire planet. It's where the craftsman lord lives. Luo Feng thought, only he and his disciples are allowed on the mountain. Other warriors are unable to enter without permission. This also means that the number of warriors on the mountain is actually very small. And his disciples, according to the information I've gathered over this half a year, none of them are universe lords. The craftsman lord had a total of 182 disciples. A portion were universe knights, a portion were undyings. In theory, the craftsman lord's disciples were all extremely talented, however, after so many years, none of his disciples were able to become universe lords. Firstly, it was too difficult to become a universe lord. Secondly, his disciples spent all their energy on forging weapons, so they were weaker in terms of cultivation. Without the Lord of the Universe, no one can stop me. But we still have to be careful. The items of the craftsman god lord aren't that easy to take. Luo Feng was secretly cautious. Luo Feng was afraid that if he delayed for too long, the craftsman lord would return. Hence, when the sky darkened, he sent the Masha clansman to bring his earth body away. In terms of escaping and hiding, the Masha clan was naturally number one. In terms of battle prowess, the main body of the earth was not inferior to the Serene Sea clone. Therefore, the Serene Ocean clone temporarily stayed at the foot of the mountain to observe the situation. The Earth clone and the Masha clan clone started to ascend the mountain. The Masha clan clone had already become the size of an ant. It stood beside a stone at the foot of the Artisan God Mountain and looked up at the majestic Artisan God Mountain. Craftsman God Lord. The Masha clan's clone took a step forward. Whoosh! He immediately teleported into the depths of Artisan God Mountain. With the Masha clan's current abilities, teleporting was incomparably compatible with the space ripples. The other knights couldn't feel any movement. Naturally, they couldn't discover the Masha clan. With just 2 short teleportations, the Masha clan relied on the Earth body's strong senses to determine the direction and arrived at the closest location to the treasure. Rumble, on the mountainside of the craftsmanship god mountain, huge holes spewed out waves of hot air. The hot air flow was probably more than 1,000,000 degrees. After the endless air flow was spewed out, it surrounded the craftsmanship god mountain and turned into a mist. Just the hot air that was spewed out from these holes was probably not inferior to the heat of a star at all times. Every hole was glowing red, almost as though it was boiling hot within. In the distance, beneath a rock, the Masha clan allowed the hot air currents to sweep around. At his level, he had long treated stars as dirt. Naturally, he didn't care about this heat. Space lock. The Masha clan thought, with this mountain as the center, it spreads around, about 10% of the entire Artisan God Mountain is enveloped within, completely locking the space. Since the space is locked, that means this is an important area of Artisan God Mountain. The Masha clan observed carefully. Suddenly, two tall and sturdy silhouettes walked out from a distant hole. One of them was 20 m tall, with 4 claws. His naked body was covered in all sorts of patterns. The other was 100 m tall, with extremely thick arms. The two walked out together. Luo Feng could tell with one look that they were undying levels. It's too hot, this place is really hot. Us brothers can't even hold on for a while. Without enough time, how can we craft the top treasures? Our strength isn't enough. Look at the universe supremacies, they can easily refine weapons in their hearts and try again and again. Especially Ninth Senior Brother. I really envy Ninth Brother. The four-clawed being exclaimed too. Ninth Brother is an overlord of the universe and has a treasure armor. Also, he's a natural fire elemental life form. He can even enter the heart to craft treasures. Even the precious materials that teacher usually uses, he would occasionally be bestowed to him. He has always been guided by teacher. See, he has even successfully refined a high-grade treasure, becoming our artisan god star second only to teacher. The tall living being shook his head and sighed. It would be great if we could step into the universe supremacy realm. How could it be so easy? The two undyings weren't wary at all. After all, they didn't think anyone would dare barge into Artisan God Mountain. The Masha clan easily heard those words. Kor, it seems like their other brothers are mostly within the mountain. The Masha clan looked at the hole, and the center of this space lock is within the mountain. And I can feel it too, the fourth black metal board is within. I have to be careful. Don't get discovered by the other disciples of the craftsman God Lord. The Masha clan didn't dare be careless. Even though he was good at hiding, the disciples of the craftsman God Lord had many knights and even overlords. So, since he couldn't teleport within the space lock, the Masha clan immediately unleashed his natural ability domain and entered the cave. And the two undyings outside didn't notice at all. Hot. It was incomparably hot. The Masha clan carefully advanced. This cave was deep and hot. The deeper he went, the walls of the cave became completely red. Even the deeper walls became golden red. The temperature was so hot. Luo Feng felt that normal sector lords would instantly die from the high temperature and every cell in their body would be destroyed. Rumble, pop, rumble, pop, rumble, pop. A rhythmic sound resounded. Luo Feng, who had sneaked into the corner of the cave, immediately became a stone and rolled in. The stone's surface had some engravings under Luo Feng's control, allowing him to clearly see into the distance. Endless flames rushed into the sky. And at the very top of the flames, many tall and sturdy, short and small alien race beings were all waving the same strange huge hammers, smashing the metal again and again. Rumble, pop. A series of sounds could be heard. These are all undyings. The Masha clan thought, my black metal board is right below. So, he immediately unleashed his natural ability domain and immediately went close to 10,000 kilometers below. The Masha clan sneaked in again and again. Using his natural ability domain, he was completely able to accurately choose a place to appear, easily dodging the attention of the alien race warriors who were crafting their weapons. As he headed downwards, Luo Feng discovered the special aspects of the crafting techniques that the crafting lord passed down to his disciples. The highest point of the flames used a strange huge hammer. In the middle of the endless flames, A few of the Universe Knights used 19 different sized hammers that required God energy to control. And below the endless flames, there were a total of 3 knights. Amongst them was the 2 ninth senior who were discussing outside the cave earlier. Obviously the flames here were too terrifying. Normal knights didn't dare barge in. It's below. My black metal board is right below. Luo Feng hid under a huge boulder in the middle of the mountain. I can clearly feel it. And that 9th senior and the other 2 are right above my black metal board. If I go over, I'll probably alert them. What do I do? Luo Feng panicked. He could feel that the distance between him and the black metal board was about 300 kilometers, and that 9th senior and the other 2 were about 300 kilometers away from him, which meant the black metal board was very close to the 3. Wait, I don't believe they've been crafting weapons here all this time, Luo Feng thought, simultaneously looking at the 3 silhouettes standing in the depths of the flames from 300 kilometers away. Even though Luo Feng didn't know how to forge weapons, just by watching the 3 Universe Overlord level warriors forge their weapons, he was amazed it was simply an art. These 3 overlords only used 19 weird hammers of different sizes. However, these hammers, especially under the 9th senior's control, when they were fierce, they seemed to be able to shatter the universe. When they were gentle, they were even gentler than the wind. Under his control, the various materials were perfectly blended together. It was simply a beautiful sight. After a long while, haha, this top-tier set of treasures has been completed. The materials are a little lacking. If the materials were good, I could totally make a treasure. Congratulations, 9th senior. Congratulations, 9th junior. Haha, I'm going to rest. You 2 rest too. Alright, let's rest together. Let's go. Luo Feng waited silently for over a month. The 3 overlords finally went to rest. The 3 silhouettes became 3 beams of light and flew out of the flames, swiftly vanishing. A stone immediately became a human silhouette. Finally my chance has come. The black-clothed Luo Feng gazed below. The black metal board was right below. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1075. The black-clothed Luo Feng immediately became a black energy flow, condensing into a stone and falling downward. The stone fell, clanging and clanging, falling towards the deepest part of the mountain. Pa! The stone smashed into a burning hot rock wall, finally stopping and transforming back into the black-clothed Luo Feng. I've arrived. Black-clothed Luo Feng looked at the scene before him and couldn't help but exclaim, "How beautiful!" This was already the deepest part of the mountain. About 10 kilometers ahead of Luo Feng floated a 3 m tall gourd-shaped object made entirely of a black peculiar substance. This black gourd floated in mid-air, its mouth spitting out endless flames. This gourd spit out flames that reached close to 1,000,000 km away, almost filling the entire mountain. And the Undying level and Universe Knight level disciples of the Craftsman God Lord all forged their weapons within this endless flame. And the black gourd floated simultaneously. There was a formless connection around it, almost as though there were chains invisible to the naked eye, connecting to the void. Even though the chains couldn't be seen, these chains that couldn't be seen with the naked eye had threads of flames forming on them. These flames came from the void and drilled straight into the black gourd. A total of 36 void chains? Black-clothed Luo Feng frowned. This black gourd seems to be completely connected with the endless space, and through the endless space, it constantly absorbs and stores the flame energy, maintaining a certain level of eternal flame eruption? Luo Feng himself was the master of the Star Tower. The Star Tower absorbed energy from the vast universe to maintain its operation. Hence, looking at this black gourd with Luo Feng's knowledge, he swiftly made a similar judgment. Without a doubt, the flames near the mouth of the gourd require the strength of a universe overlord to withstand. this endless flame that reaches close to 1,000,000 km. Every thread of flame is enough to destroy a star. For such a strong energy to be constantly released, there has to be a source of energy. Black-clothed Luo Feng could feel the endless flame energy flowing through the 36 void chains into the black gourd. Void transfer. Just what is it that can constantly maintain such a strong energy consumption? The craftsman god lord is a master in treasure crafting. He wouldn't foolishly use his own energy to constantly consume the energy. There has to be a source. Just like the star tower to maintain such a strong energy. Black-clothed Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Right, the craftsman god planet. Only the artisan god planet. The craftsmanship god star is the greatest treasure refined by the craftsmanship god lord. It's huge and can completely absorb the endless energy in the surrounding void, refine it inside, and then transfer it into this gourd? This gourd should be a part of the craftsman god star. After observing for a few seconds, Luo Feng made a deduction. When the lord of the craftsman god was refining the craftsman god star, he first wanted to create a place to protect his life, and second, he wanted to create a main tool to refine the treasure. The entire craftsman god star was absorbing endless energy to continuously refine flames, which were all gathered in this black gourd, killing two birds with one stone. It can be done by modifying the enormous craftsman god star slightly. With the abilities of the craftsman god lord, it should be very easy. The black-clothed Luo Feng stared at the black gourd. I can feel that the black metal board is within the black gourd. What do we do? Take away the gourd? This thought flashed past Luo Feng's mind and he immediately rejected it. This black gourd was a part of the craftsman god star. It had an owner. If he tried to take it away, it would definitely be discovered by the Lord of Craftsmen. That was one of the reasons. More importantly, he wasn't the owner of the craftsman god star, hence if he wanted to take the black gourd, he would have to take the entire craftsman god star. With the craftsman god star's weight and power, if it was placed there, it would be like 1,000 treasures river released at any time. Even the universe lord wouldn't be able to move it. Just like the star pagoda releasing its full power. Even the strongest warrior of the universe wouldn't be able to take it away. It's best not to move this black gourd, to prevent alerting the enemy. Luo Feng thought, this gourd's mouth is always open, spewing flames at any time. Then if I enter through the mouth, there shouldn't be any obstructions, only this black gourd's flames. Luo Feng didn't know. The interior of the gourd was empty, or was it filled with even more terrifying flames? I'll risk it. The black metal board is within the gourd, I have to enter. The intense calling was incomparably strong. Immediately the black Luo Feng's body split into two, one was the Masha clansman, one was his earth body. I'll let the Masha clansman try first. So, the black-clothed Luo Feng immediately unleashed his natural ability domain, immediately entering through the mouth of the gourd. Rumble, under the endless flames, the Masha clansman didn't even have time to check the situation, not even having the time to react, it was instantly destroyed. Just like a strand of hair touching the flames, it was instantly finished. The Masha clansman died faster than a strand of hair. The moment it formed, it was immediately destroyed, it didn't even have time to react. Luo Feng was shocked as he looked at the floating 36 space chains connected to the black gourd. Immediately his god body split a thread of god energy to swiftly condense, very quickly restoring the Masha clansman. After all, even though the Masha clansman was similar in size to the earth body, the difference in quality was huge. He only needed a bit of god energy to restore the Masha clansman. Let my earth body give it a try. This body of mine is comparable to a normal knight. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows, throwing a world ring to the Masha clansman, simultaneously entering the world ring. Go! The Masha clansman took the world ring and once again unleashed his natural ability domain. So, immediately entering the black gourd's mouth. Within the world ring. Rumble, Luo Feng looked up at the sky, only to see countless cracks appearing in the world, following which it collapsed. Obviously, under that terrifying flame, the materials of the world ring had begun to soften, the world within naturally couldn't stabilize and collapsed. Following which, Luo Feng appeared in a flame space. This is the Black Gourd? The moment he appeared in the flame space, the first thing he felt was heat, almost like the first time he was scalded by boiling water when he was a child. However, with Luo Feng's current willpower, he could easily suppress this bit of pain. Black metal board. Luo Feng felt all the cells in his body boil, almost as though he was going crazy. He lowered his head and saw that at the very bottom of the flame space, there were large amounts of various materials. All of them were extremely valuable and special materials, able to withstand such high temperatures easily. Amongst them was the black metal board. Rumble. The only movement Luo Feng could make was to look down, following which he was completely destroyed. Craftsman God Mountain, foot of the mountain. It was as calm as always, amidst the countless structures left behind by the warriors of the universe. Yuhai Luo Feng stood in front of his own door. The Masha clansman was instantly destroyed, even his consciousness couldn't react. The earth body only had time to lower his head. About a 10,000th of a second, it was enough for his consciousness to think. Yuhai Luo Feng sighed within, terrifying. No wonder even the universe tyrants could only withstand the flames outside. The flames within this gourd are probably even stronger than the ones outside. Yuhai Luo Feng turned to return to his house. Within the house, sitting crossed-legged, Luo Feng pondered. Within the flame space within the black gourd, the materials are all extremely valuable. However, they're probably just a portion of the craftsman lord's materials. Luo Feng understood the materials had different properties, not all were suitable to be stored within the flame space, and according to the warrior's temperament, the truly precious materials would be carried on them. My high Luo Feng is much larger than my earth body. My god body's energy is much stronger too. I should be able to last longer. The craftsman lord's 3 extremely powerful disciples, 9th senior and the other 2 aren't here yet. I can't miss out on the opportunity. I'll give it a try. With a thought, Luo Feng used some of his god energy to form the Masha clansman, after which it brought the high Luo Feng back into craftsman god mountain. The Masha clansman carefully and easily entered the depths of the mountain, arriving far away from the floating black gourd. The flames are powerful? I only need a bit of time to get the black metal board and fly out. The Masha clansman brought the high Luo Feng back into the black gourd. Within the black gourd, the Masha clansman was destroyed as usual. The world ring melted and a part of the world collapsed. Black metal board. The moment the high Luo Feng appeared, he lowered his head and immediately rushed downward. Chi chi chi, the endless scorching flames burned the god body of the serene sea clone. When the serene sea clone had just descended half of the distance, he had disappeared before he could reach the precious materials scattered at the bottom of the flaming space. ENFA secret area, 3,000 light-years away from Craftsman God Planet in space. A universe ship floated in mid-air. Within the control room, the 1m long cute golden-horned beast was laying on the sofa, its eyes filled with worry, muttering, "I knew it wouldn't be this easy, I knew it. That terrifying flame is too strong. Just like an Emperor Pinnacle Undying can easily slap an official level Undying, it can destroy my body without any energy at all." The high Luo Feng is so big, yet he was still destroyed in a mere 1/100th of a second. Obviously the difference is too huge. No matter how much energy I have, I'll still be burnt out. This power is even more terrifying than a universe tyrant's attack, even stronger than the Divergent Blood Palace leader's strongest attack. It definitely exceeds the defense limits of normal armors. Under that level of power, even the golden shaking Ho Emperor armor's power is greatly reduced. To be able to reduce it to 1/10 is already not bad. The golden-horned beast shook its little head, muttering, "Only at 1/10, it definitely won't be able to withstand the endless flames. The flames within the black gourd are much stronger than the flames outside. The outside world requires a universe tyrant to rely on normal armors. Then within the gourd, doesn't one have to rely on the calamity armor? With the calamity armor to reduce the power of the flames to 1/10,000th, that'll be much easier. However, the moment it fails, the armor will be lost. The golden-horned beast laid there, letting out a low growl. I knew it, it wouldn't be this simple, it wouldn't be this simple. So, a silhouette appeared within the control room. It was the Earth body that brought the High Luo Feng and Masha clansmen over from the God Country. Should I bring the calamity armor? Yes or no? Luo Feng sat on the sofa holding a wine glass. The golden-horned beast laid there too, pondering. P.S. 2 chapters completed. Do you have tickets? To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1076. About 3,000 light-years away from the craftsman god planet, a universe ship floated quietly. Should I go or not? Luo Feng pondered. Before, when he sent his ocean clone, even if he failed, he only used up a bit of energy. Luo Feng didn't feel the pinch. If he wore the golden trembling turtle emperor armor and could block it, he wouldn't care about the armor. However, after personally feeling the power, plus the fact that the 3 disciples of the craftsman god lord were wearing normal armors yet were still within the flames, these 2 points made Luo Feng very certain normal armors weren't enough. Armor! Using the armor to take the risk? Luo Feng frowned. His 2 most important treasures were the Star Pagoda and the armor. Even if he became a universe lord in the future, the armor would still be extremely valuable. Luo Feng pondered for over 6 hours. Many thoughts floated in his mind. He rejected them all. Go. Luo Feng gritted his teeth. After a while, the Masha clansmen brought the golden-horned beast and ocean clone and departed. Luo Feng had a total of 6 treasures: the pearl, star map, killer Wu wings, armor, golden trembling turtle emperor armor and 9 river. And this time he sent the golden-horned beast. Luo Feng gave 3 of his 6 treasures over: the calamity armor, Wu killer wings and 9 Ming river. The armor was for the golden-horned beast to defend against the flames. The killer Wu wings and 9 river were for the golden-horned beast to rely on to escape if anything unexpected happened. As for the golden trembling turtle emperor armor and star map, they were useless, and even though the pearl was useful, it was an item that the Star Pagoda recognized. It couldn't be lost. Compared to the armor, the absolute treasure Star Pagoda was much more important to Luo Feng. He naturally wouldn't easily let the pearl take the risk. If I fail and lose the armor, even if I lose the killer Wu wings and 9 river, it doesn't mean much. Luo Feng thought. Compared to the armor's value. Even if Jiu Ming He and Wu Sha's wings were added together, they would only be able to catch up to a tiny bit of tribulation armor. In the vast space where the craftsman god planet was, there were many space whirlpools. One couldn't even see the end. The Masha clansmen floated in mid-air, looking at the distant small planet craftsman god planet. I must get the 4th black metal plate. If the craftsman god master was here, I definitely wouldn't be able to obtain it. It just so happens that the craftsman god lord isn't here. 9th senior brother and the other overlords of the universe are also resting. Such an opportunity is hard to come by. If I miss it, who knows how long I'll have to wait. That's why I have to act. Even if I fail and lose the tribulation armor, I'll just come back in the future when I'm stronger. After all, even if the craftsman god lord obtains the tribulation armor, he won't be able to use it. At most, I'll just have to pay a small price, and getting it back shouldn't be too difficult. Even if I can't get it back, Teacher Mountain Traveler won't just stand by and watch. This tribulation armor was refined by him, so with his strength, it won't be difficult for him to get it back. Luo Feng had many plans before he set off. Although the tribulation armor was important, the fourth black metal plate of the 9 Tribulations mystic tome was even more important. The moment he obtained it, he could very well raise the golden horned beast's genetic level to the perfect level. At that time, he would at least be able to unleash the heaven-defying innate ability, I am the universe. Being able to unleash this move, my strength will rise greatly. Without the armor, even if I die in battle with the endless ocean, I can still form more clones. What's there to be afraid of? Because of the endless ocean. Hence, even though the armor was important to Luo Feng, it wasn't something he couldn't do without. Of course, if it wasn't for the fourth metal plate of the 9 Tribulations mystic tome, Luo Feng wouldn't have taken such a huge risk. The Masha clansman teleported to the Craftsman God Planet and then teleported to Craftsman God Mountain. He was already very familiar with it. Just like before, he used his innate secret technique, territory, to carefully enter the cave and enter the belly of the mountain. After using his innate secret technique, territory, over 100 times, he arrived at the deepest part of the mountain. A 1m long golden horned beast floated in mid-air, looking at the distant 36 space chains of the Black Gourd. The mouth of the Black Gourd constantly spat out endless flames. The strength of the flames was simply unbelievable. If it were any normal treasures, they would have instantly turned to ashes. At this time, the golden horned beast had already unleashed deities of the world, beast god transformation, natural abilities strengthening, etc., raising its strength to an extreme. It even carried a world ring within its body. The Masha clansmen and Ocean clansmen were within too. When my god energy is used up, the Ocean clansmen can also supply me with endless amounts of god energy. The golden horned beast, Ocean clansmen, the 2 huge god bodies god energy along with the armor's defense. I don't believe that I can't get the 4th black metal plate. The golden horned beast swiftly shrunk until it was only the size of a fist. So, it flew straight towards the mouth of the gourd. This black gourd was about 3m tall, and its mouth was about the size of a normal human head. It constantly spat out flames and the golden horned beast swooshed straight in. Within the black gourd, within the flame space. The moment the golden horned beast entered, it felt an incomparably terrifying heat. One had to know that this black gourd was specially made to extract extremely strong flames, to be used by the craftsman lord to forge weapons. As for the flames that were spat out, it was merely a small portion that the black gourd intentionally leaked out. The countless years of accumulated flames within were much stronger, even a top-level treasure set would be instantly destroyed. Rumble, the flames were endless. The golden horned beast swiftly recovered to a meter long, simultaneously burning its god body to activate the armor. This allowed it to maintain its strongest defense. Ha, good, the armor is indeed powerful. Even though this flame is strong, after being weakened by the armor to 1/10,000 to, even though it's still consuming my god body, the speed is already extremely slow. By the time I leave with the black metal plate, I probably won't even lose 20% of my god body. Actually, this consumption was already shocking, but it still made it easy for Luo Feng. So, the golden horned beast immediately flew downward. Its god body too was slowly being consumed. 99, 9%, 99, 7%, 99, 5%, 98. 7%. However, just as it was being consumed, the netherworld ocean within the golden horned beast's internal world ring would send out god energy to replenish its god body, causing it to instantly recover to 100%. In terms of god body capacity, netherworld ocean and the golden horned beast weren't too far apart. So, Luo Feng continued to fly downwards. The space within the gourd wasn't huge, about 10,000 kilometers in diameter. The golden horned beast very quickly descended to the bottom of the flame space. However, the moment it reached the bottom, it felt an incomparably terrifying heat. The flames at the bottom of the black gourd were much stronger than the other regions of the flame space. Obviously, it was the essence of countless years of fire energy gathering. Even the flames had a hint of a peculiar purple color. 97%, 94%, 91%, 88%. The god body's consumption rate was shocking. Not good, I have to hurry. The golden horned beast landed at the bottom of the scattered materials within the flame space. It immediately clawed at the fourth black metal plate. The black metal plate and the large amounts of materials at the bottom all had a layer of black light on them. The endless black light connected, causing the golden horned beast to be unable to grab the black metal plate. Howl, the golden horned beast lowered its head to look. The endless flames within the flame space were actually following the engravings within the black light and drilling into the bottom of the black gourd, causing the entire bottom of the black gourd to accumulate more and more energy. Clearly, this was a special kind of secret seal that transmitted stored energy, and those materials were also sealed within it. You want to stop me with a secret seal that doesn't have a master controlling it? Break! Sure Wu's wings slashed fiercely. Chi! The black light was immediately sliced apart. Its claws easily grabbed onto the black metal plate, following which it bit down and swallowed it. The god energy recognized its owner. Just like before, the black metal plate began to transmit information. Go! The golden horned beast didn't dare hesitate. Because of the slight delay from grabbing the black metal plate, its god body was actually depleted to 62%. The netherworld ocean clone was also depleted to 68% due to the energy replenishment, so the golden horned beast shrunk to the size of a fist and became a beam of light, flying out of the mouth of the gourd and landing on a distant rock. I finally got it. The golden horned beast's eyes were filled with joy. Rumble! An endless pressure descended, like an endless mountain range pressing down. This caused the golden horned beast to reveal a look of fear, not good. As expected, the craftsman lord who had set up the seal had noticed him when he had broken it. He had rushed back to his lair at the first possible moment. You dare break my technique! An old voice resounded. Rumble! A glass-colored giant arm charged through the layers of flames, directly descending. The golden horned beast that was moving very slowly under the restrictions of space was immediately grabbed. The golden horned beast could only feel an incomparable amount of pressure pressing down on it. Even with the tribulation armor, it was still able to quickly deplete its god body. Under the crazy depletion, the god body that was left with 62% quickly decreased 50%, 42%, 36% replenish. Netherworld ocean clone replenish. The golden horned beast was anxious. The netherworld ocean clone quickly replenished its energy, causing its god body to rapidly recover. When the hand stopped exerting strength, the netherworld ocean clone's god body was already depleted, and the golden horned beast's god body was only left with 42%. You can actually take a full force grab from me and not die? That glass-colored giant stone arm grabbed onto the golden horned beast. Rumbling sounds resounded. As the master of the craftsman god, that grip actually contained the intent of a god hammer. Its power was boundless. Normal overlords of the universe would be instantly destroyed. To be able to block my full force grip, you've only taken a useless piece of material. I'll spare your life, Yi Zichen said. Rumble, space reversed. Before, when it was still within the mountain, the golden horned beast only felt the space around it change. When it could see clearly again, it was already in the space outside the craftsman god planet, only to see a huge space whirlpool in the distance. My craftsman god planet has 98,200 natural wormholes, 2 of them lead to the danger zone. That huge mountain giant's height actually reached 10 million kilometers, grabbing the tiny golden horned beast and throwing it into one of the huge space whirlpools. The floating stone tablet before the whirlpool had the words Danger Zone written in scarlet red. Block my grab. I'll give you a chance to live. The rumbling sound resounded in Luo Feng's mind, following which the golden-horned beast had already passed through the space whirlpool. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Qidien.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1077. The golden-horned beast was thrown into the space whirlpool, and the 10 million km tall mountain giant, the Craftsman Lord, stood in the void, silently watching the space whirlpool that led to the forbidden ground. The Craftsman Lord was a 10 million km tall mountain range. At the same time, there were many huge glass arms extending from the mountain range. With one look, there were at least 100 incomparably huge arms. At the same time, there was a huge eye on the mountain wall. Golden-horned beast, if you're trapped here for 1 trillion years, don't blame me. The Craftsman God Lord looked at the space whirlpool. Everything was arranged by Teacher Mountain Passenger. Poor fellow. Master of Craftsmanship God sighed softly. Master of Craftsman God would absolutely carry out Mountain Guest's orders. Actually, with his strength, crafting skills, and his divine body that was tens of millions of kilometers tall, he really wasn't afraid of the strongest experts in the universe. Firstly, it was because he was strong and had a huge divine body. He also had a flying palace treasure, the Craftsman God Star, which allowed him to hold on for a long time even when facing the strongest experts in the universe. Secondly, he had many friends. Among the strongest people in the universe, there were quite a few who were on good terms with him. For example, the human race, the demon race, and several other races were on good terms with him. They often asked him to help them refine treasures. Therefore, if the strongest experts of the other universes dared to order him, he wouldn't care at all. But Mountain Rider was different. Master of the Craftsman God had absolute respect for Mountain Passenger. In the past, he loved to forge weapons, and he was extremely talented in this aspect. In the early stages of the universe's birth, there were still very few life forms in the universe. At that time, the Master of Craftsmanship was already a venerable of the universe. While he was forging weapons, he was coincidentally observed by the side by Mountain Passenger, which infuriated him. That was because how could the skill of forging precious treasures be seen and learned by other experts? He was furious, but what could he do? Mountain Passenger was already the strongest person in the universe at that time. Just his control over the surrounding universe was enough to render the Lord of Craftsman God immobile. Then, Mountain Passenger evaluated Lord of the Craftsmanship God's strengths in artifact forging, pointed out his shortcomings, and even pointed out how to improve, and so on. Master of Craftsmanship God was instantly shocked. Thus, during that period of time, the lonely mountain-sitting guest lived on Master of Craftsmanship God's planet. At that time, the Craftsmanship God planet was not famous at all, nor had it been transformed into a flying palace. Mountain Traveler would occasionally give him some pointers. It allowed the skills of the Craftsman God Lord to improve by leaps and bounds. Even his comprehension of the laws of nature had improved greatly, and he had finally broken through and stepped into the Lord of the Universe level. In terms of weapon forging, he had reached an extremely high level. Your skills are already extremely high. My guidance is no longer of any use. You will have to rely on your own comprehension from now on. One day, Mountain Passenger left. From the beginning to the end, Mountain Guest had never said that he would take him as a disciple. He didn't impart any secret cultivation techniques to him, nor did he give him any precious treasures or help from Mountain Guest. He only stayed on this planet for a relatively long period of time and gave him pointers on artifact forging. But the Master of Craftsmen had always called Mountain Passenger teacher, and in his heart, he had long regarded Mountain Passenger as his teacher. In fact, he had even tried to acknowledge the other party as his teacher several times, but the Mountain Passenger had never agreed to it. This time, the Master of the Craftsman God would naturally complete the task that Mountain Passenger had instructed him to do. He would definitely not delay it. Poor fellow, but you're also a lucky fellow. Master of craftsmanship God sighed. Teacher Mountain Traveler set up a test for you to temper yourself. I'm afraid he also treats you as his disciple. However, Teacher Mountain Traveler's vision is very high. If you can't come out on your own, then you can only be trapped in the danger zone forever. The Craftsman Lord sighed inwardly. Wha? After which, the huge silhouette vanished in the void and returned to the Craftsman God planet. After a while, Teacher is back. Teacher is back. Hurry up and prepare. Very soon, Teacher will be testing you. Those who pass the final test will be able to enter Teacher's tutelage. At the foot of the Craftsman God Mountain, the 500-plus kneeling Universe Knights and Undyings who had talent in weapon forging were all looking excitedly at the distant shouts of the 3 disciples of the Master of the Craftsman God flying down from the sky. And the Universe Knights from the various races in the buildings swiftly came out. Hurry, the Craftsman God Lord is about to appear. Hurry! The chance to invite the Craftsman God Lord to forge treasures is about to arrive. Hua hua hua, over 1,000 knights appeared. Yuluo, the Craftsman God Lord is about to appear. Yuluo Yuluo. Yonghe Knight went to Luo Feng's residence and searched everywhere. He couldn't find Luo Feng. He couldn't help but sigh suspiciously. In a secret area, within the universe ship that was floating in space, the Earth body was sitting there. Beside him was a serene ocean clone. Previously, when the golden horned beast blocked the Craftsman God Lord's grip, the serene ocean clone had used up all of its divine energy to replenish the golden horned beast's divine body. Naturally, another one was formed. Just where is it? Just where is my golden horned beast? I can connect with its consciousness, yet I can't sense its location. Luo Feng was shocked. Such a situation had never happened before. Even on the primal star, the 2 bodies could sense each other's location. Just where did the golden horned beast go? The danger zone, where is it in the universe? Luo Feng was even more curious. Even at his current level, Luo Feng still felt that the universe was hard to see clearly. There were always mysterious places appearing. The space changed. Passing through the huge space whirlpool, the golden horned beast appeared in space, looking around blankly. Where is this? The golden horned beast looked into the distance. A resplendent space, in the distance there were stars, planets and even a red giant with the golden horned beast's vision. It could see the vast and endless space. This seemed like a very normal space. However, the golden horned beast understood. This place wasn't normal at all. He couldn't sense the space ripples. He couldn't sense his own god country either. He couldn't sense the virtual universe either. How can this be? Where's the space ripples? The golden horned beast roared softly in space, looking around. Without the space lock, how can the space ripples disappear? This endless space seemed to have no space ripples at all, almost like it was completely isolated from the universe. I can't sense the virtual universe. I can't sense the god country. I couldn't connect to the virtual universe back on the primal star. This is the second place in the universe that I can't connect to. The golden horned beast looked around. He was clear on the virtual universe's capabilities, and a place that could cut off the connection to the virtual universe was definitely not a normal place. The only place he knew before was the primal star. Where's the space whirlpool? The golden horned beast looked around, passing through the space whirlpool and arriving in this space, after which the space whirlpool vanished. Why did it vanish? Don't tell me, the huge space whirlpool on the Craftsman God planet, it can teleport to random locations. Luo Feng was extremely curious. Back then in the ancestral god secret area, he had encountered a random space whirlpool that would teleport him to a certain core area, and there, the Masha clansmen finally evolved. Masha Luo Feng appeared in mid-air. The golden horned beast was hidden within the world ring. This danger zone, just what secrets does it have? I haven't discovered any danger at all? Luo Feng looked carefully, however, as he couldn't sense the God country. Naturally he couldn't teleport there, hence his injuries couldn't be healed at all. Teacher Mountain Passenger, just what did he set up for me? Luo Feng thought. Luo Feng wasn't stupid. When he thought of a way to steal the fourth metal board, he didn't confirm that the craftsman God Lord and Mountain Passenger were related. However, when the golden horned beast took it and was about to escape, the craftsman God Lord appeared. It was very normal. However, what was not normal was that after punishing him a little, he didn't even take back the black metal board, not even taking away the treasures on him. He threw him into the space whirlpool that led to the danger zone. A weak foreign race, daring to steal. And this foreign race was actually able to come out of the black gourd alive. He definitely had a powerful armor. Knowing this, that craftsman God Lord actually didn't take a single treasure from me. Was he that merciful? If he was merciful, if he wanted to kill, he could have just killed me. If he wanted to punish me, there were many ways. Why did he have to throw me into this danger zone? As an absolute warrior, fighting and killing each other for the top treasures on the primal star, yet he didn't even look at the treasures right under his eyes. No shit, he really thinks I'm an idiot. Luo Feng thought to himself. It's definitely Teacher Mountain Passenger's arrangement. Luo Feng was grateful towards Mountain Passenger, however he had been thinking about his intentions. Mountain Passenger usually didn't care about him at all. However, the 3 black metal boards were for him to obtain at the Sector Lord level, Undying level and Night level. It was obviously 3 tests. That time when I went to Qing Rue Ko Night and Purple Rue Ko Night, I ended up in the ice prison. If it wasn't for the Sky Wolf leader, I'm afraid I really would have to stay there for a long time, killing large amounts of the ice prison's warriors and coming out. Then come out. Luo Feng thought. This was Teacher Mountain Passenger's goal last time? Luo Feng was only guessing. After all, Mountain Passenger's arrangements were rather casual. Even if Luo Feng left because of the Sky Wolf leader and Primal Chaos City leader, Mountain Passenger wouldn't interfere. Then what about this time? What's the goal this time? If it wasn't for the Sky Wolf leader and Primal Chaos City leader, I would have been trapped there for a long time. Luo Feng looked at the endless space. In this mysterious danger zone, I can't sense the God country, I can't sense the virtual universe, I can't even determine the coordinates of the universe. I can't even ask for help. My divine body's injuries can't be replenished by the endless dark ocean. The moment I fail, my calamity armor, 9 demon river and Wu killer wings will be gone. Luo Feng thought. I can't care so much. Who cares what Mountain Passenger set up? He's nurturing me, and I'm relying on him to quickly raise my strength. No matter, power is the most important. Luo Feng didn't think anymore, so he immediately became a beam of light and swiftly flew, his speed constantly rising, very quickly reaching light speed. Luo Feng stared. Light speed? I've already reached light speed. No, I've already surpassed light speed. Why haven't I entered the dark universe? Luo Feng, who had become a beam of light, was completely shocked. Just what is this place? Is this the actual universe? Don't tell me it's another universe similar to the primal universe? P.S. Update complete. Tomorrow is a rest day, Saturday. I've applied for leave once this week and was late once, hence, tomorrow I'll update 2 more chapters. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1078. He couldn't sense the God country, couldn't connect to the virtual universe, couldn't enter the dark universe. His highest speed exceeded light speed, no ripples in space. Just where is this? Luo Feng relied on the inertia to maintain his high-speed flight, simultaneously looking at the space around him. The distant stars were shining brightly. It was still beautiful. Not right. My speed has already exceeded light speed. In theory, I can only see ahead. There should be nothing but darkness behind us. Luo Feng looked curiously behind him. The space scenery was still as clear as ever. This made him suspicious. With a thought, his god energy spread out. He felt the threads of light speed. So fast. The speed of light in this danger zone, is different from the actual universe. Luo Feng swiftly determined, the actual universe's speed of light was 300,000 kilometers per second. However, in this mysterious danger zone, the speed of light was 100 times faster. It reached about 30,000 kilometers per second. God energy speed? Luo Feng frowned. So, a thread of God energy extended fiercely in all directions. This made Luo Feng exclaim, in the universe, the fastest God energy speed is 300,000 kilometers per second. However, in this danger zone, it's actually 100 times faster than before. So, Luo Feng accelerated once again, flying in space. 2 times the actual universe light speed, 3 times the actual universe light speed. Luo Feng's speed continued to rise. The laws of the universe in this danger zone had completely changed. Luo Feng's current feeling was like when he was beside Mountain Traveler, and also like in the primal universe. When he was beside Mountain Traveler, as one of the strongest warriors in the universe, he could completely change the laws around him. His words were law. In the primal universe, as it was a completely different universe, naturally there were some fundamental changes. Luo Feng's flying speed continued to rise. As it did, the pressure on his body grew. This Masha clansman's body was 100 times that of a normal emperor-level pinnacle. It could completely withstand the pressure. I've reached 100 times the actual universe light speed. I can't increase my speed anymore. Luo Feng tried everything, even burning his god energy. He couldn't increase his speed by even a bit, completely maintaining it at 100 times the actual universe light speed. This was already the maximum speed of his god energy, the speed of light in this danger zone. Hua! His back was already dark. Luo Feng could only see the space ahead. Even when I reached my maximum speed, I didn't enter the dark universe. It seems like this danger zone doesn't have a dark universe. Luo Feng was suspicious. Take a good look. Just what world is this danger zone? Luo Feng maintained 100 times the original universe's light speed as he flew. Luo Feng's God Country. The endless ghost ocean was vast and mighty. In the golden shrine above it, Luo Feng's earth body sat crossed-legged in the huge plaza before the God Country. I've fallen into a hopeless situation, but the gains outweigh the losses. At least I've successfully obtained the 4th black metal plate of the 9 Tribulations secret book. Luo Feng revealed a smile. The 4th black metal board was within the heart of Craftsman Mountain. When the golden horned beast swallowed the board's god energy and allowed it to recognize its owner, the black metal board's information had already been completely transmitted. The first 3 metal boards allowed Luo Feng to gather the training methods for the first 5 levels. As for the 4th black metal tablet, there was a lot of missing information. When combined with the previous 3 tablets, it actually contained the complete cultivation method for the first 7 tribulations. I already have the first 7 tribulations of the 9 Tribulations secret manual. That last black metal plate should be able to make up for the last 2 tribulations. I'll begin training. His earth body began to train the 6th level of the 9 Tribulations secret manual, and in space, the Masha clansman maintained 100 times the original universe's light speed. Within his world ring, the golden horned beast too was training the 6th level of the 9 Tribulations secret manual. Even if he failed midway and his body was reduced to dust, Luo Feng's body was extremely strong, and he had long since attained an undying body. Just a shred and he could revive. Those shredded pieces would completely reform, hence, even in a danger zone, he could completely train the 9 Tribulations secret manual without fear of failing midway. Maintaining 100 times the original universe's light speed, he flew for over a year. Luo Feng had already flown into a star system. There were a total of 3 planets in this system. These 3 planets are really beautiful, Luo Feng complimented within. One is completely jade green, one yellow mixed with white, and the last is a dreamy rainbow. When Luo Feng flew into the center of the galaxy, there's actually a foreign race that has come to this danger zone. An ancient voice resounded from the yellow planet. After a few seconds in space, it had already exploded in space around Luo Feng. How long have we been lonely, Night Xinjian? A faint, ghostly voice resounded from the dreamy rainbow planet. It's been over 60,000 eras since I've seen a foreign race. A cold voice resounded from the jade-green planet. Luo Feng's expression changed. Rumble. A formless god energy soul attack immediately drilled into Luo Feng's body. However, the Masha clansman didn't fear the soul attack at all. It's an energy life form, it doesn't fear soul attacks. The ghostly voice resounded in space. Then we'll trample on him. The cold voice said. Leave it to me. The ancient voice was filled with excitement and anticipation. Luo Feng looked in 3 directions. From each of the 3 planets, a silhouette flew out. Their speed swiftly rose and in an instant, they reached 100 times the original universe's light speed and closed in on Luo Feng. This Masha clansman of mine can't fight. What? The 1-meter-long golden-horned beast spread its wings and floated in mid-air. The Masha clansman swiftly drilled into the world ring and was kept by the golden-horned beast. Ah, it's actually a space beast? It's the golden-horned beast. It's even better if it's the golden-horned beast. The jade-green silhouette's voice was cold, majestic and filled with endless killing intent. The golden-horned beast floated in mid-air, paying attention to the 3 directions. Carefully identifying them in an instant, he could tell that these 3 foreign race warriors were all famous and powerful universe overlord. However, they had all disappeared a long time ago, and there was no news of them ever since. They were Si Jian Knight, Se Tian Knight and Dark Feather Leader. Si Jian Knight, Se Tian Knight, Dark Feather Leader. I didn't expect the 3 of you to still be alive. The golden-horned beast's voice resounded throughout the endless space. The 3 silhouettes gradually slowed down, stopping tens of thousands of km away from Luo Feng. The 3 experts seemed to be stunned. The outside world still remembers us. We haven't been forgotten. Se Tian Knight's ancient voice and Dark Feather Leader's ghostly voice resounded. The jade-green silhouette of Si Jian Knight's eyes were filled with coldness. Looking at the distant golden-horned beast, he roared, Speak, in these close to 200,000 eras, just what has happened in the outside world? Se Tian Knight and Dark Feather Leader stared at the golden-horned beast too. Si Jian Knight. The golden-horned beast roared, Are you ordering your servant? I don't like your tone, even though I pity your situation and am willing to explain it to you. However, your tone pisses me off. Courting death. Si Jian Knight's eyes were filled with coldness. If you don't wish to speak, I'll kill you until you do. Rumble, his body immediately combusted, his eyes filled with coldness. What? A jade-green blade light immediately pierced through the universe space, crossing tens of thousands of km and heading straight for the golden-horned beast. Luo Feng didn't expect this Si Jian Knight to be so crazy. If he was polite, Luo Feng would have said it. And deep down, Luo Feng wanted to have a good chat with these 3 universe overlords that had been trapped in the danger zone for countless years. However, it seemed like Si Jian Knight didn't even treat him as an equal. Do it. Se Tian Knight immediately took out a completely black long rod. With a sweep, it immediately became 10,000 kilometers long and swept towards Luo Feng. Dark Feather Leader laughed loudly. His voice pierced into the golden-horned beast's body. Even though Luo Feng's willpower and consciousness were at the universe overlord level, he was still slightly affected. The golden-horned beast couldn't care less about anything else as it immediately ignited its body and flapped its wings to dodge. However, the cold blade light was shockingly fast. Chi! The blade immediately sent the golden-horned beast flying. Purring! The heavy rod, almost as though it could split the universe, immediately smashing into the golden-horned beast's head. Si Jian Knight and Sei Tian Knight's coordination was ingenious, especially with Dark Feather Leader constantly affecting Luo Feng's willpower and consciousness. The golden-horned beast was completely surrounded. Firstly, the golden-horned beast's own battle strength was weaker than these three universe overlords. Secondly, its body was still heavily injured, with only 10% of its original strength. It could only take a beating. His wings are priceless treasures. Celestial Strategist shouted. He has a treasure armor on him. Dark Feather Leader said, the three of us attacking him together and he can actually take it head-on. This golden-horned beast definitely has a high-level treasure armor on him. Kill it. Snatch the treasure. The armor is mine, you guys can split the rest. Dark Feather Leader said coldly. Sei Tian Knight and Dark Feather Leader were slightly enraged. However, they knew that Dark Feather Leader was stronger than them. What's more, they still hadn't found a way to leave this place. All right. Sei Tian Knight and Dark Feather Leader nodded. Golden-horned beast, whatever happens outside doesn't matter to us. Your treasure is more important to us. Dark Feather Leader looked coldly at the golden-horned beast. Die. Howl, a sky-shaking roar resounded. Hua hua, endless golden river water spread out, enveloping the surrounding 10 million kilometers of space. Within this endless golden river water, there were 9 beasts swimming, and the golden-horned beast was in the middle. Domain-type treasure. Dark Feather Leader, Sei Tian Knight and Dark Feather Leader were all shocked. Kill me and steal my treasure? Under the pressure of the endless golden river water, the three universe overlords couldn't even touch the golden-horned beast. The golden-horned beast's eyes burned with endless rage as it looked over. Let's see who will die first. P.S. That's the first chapter. Damn, I'm not going to say anything. Tomato will continue writing the second chapter. If you like this work, please come to Chidian.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1079. The water of the Nine-Shore River flowed in space, causing the three overlords to feel like they had sunk into a swamp. Their flying speed immediately decreased. What do we do? He has a domain treasure, we can't even get close to him. Celestial Strategist communicated anxiously, while Sword Sage frowned. Leader Gloom, can you use illusions to deal with him and reduce his flying speed? No. His consciousness is extremely strong, I can only affect him a little. He can still do simple things like flying and dodging well. Leader Gloom communicated helplessly. Under the influence of soul illusions, some of the top techniques would be affected, making it difficult to use them. However, flying was a piece of cake for him. Forget it, since he has a domain treasure, we can't kill him. Let's spare his life. Let's go. Sword Sage said. All right. Forget it. Celestial Strategist Venerable, Sword Venerable, and Dark Feather Overlord immediately flew in 3 different directions to their respective planet. Trying to escape? An angry roar resounded. The golden-horned beast flew towards the leader, Sword Sage. Humph, I spared your life, yet you still dare to chase? Sword Sage looked coldly at the golden-horned beast. I can't catch you in your domain, but since you've sent yourself to me, don't blame me. It sounds like my life is in your hands, ha ha. What a joke. Sword Sage, let's see who's going to die. The golden-horned beast flapped its wings and flew over, burning with god energy. The Wu-slaying wings slashed towards Sword Sage. Even the 9 strange beasts in the 9-kiln river surrounded Venerable Si Jian and attacked him. The 9 beasts were extremely powerful. With the golden-horned beast's god energy and body amplification, it was enough to heavily injure middle-tier overlords. Against a universe overlord, while it couldn't injure, it could completely suppress their speed. Courting death. Sword Sage was cold and disdainful. Sword Sage disdained the golden-horned beast from the bottom of his heart. you're so weak, you were completely trampled before. It's just that your background is good, you're from the Space Beast Alliance. It's one of the 9 superpowers of the universe that was bestowed with a powerful treasure. That's why you're able to keep your life. You don't even have the strength to retaliate and you still want to fight me? Bang. 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 Venerable Sea Jian and the golden horned beast began to fight within the endless golden river, exchanging blows time and time again. And the golden horned beast could only focus on one person, hence Sky Su Sage and Dark Feather Lord could easily watch from afar. It's really looking to die. With a domain treasure, the golden horned beast actually isn't fleeing. Instead, you went to pester him. Let's see how Venerable Heng Jian will deal with him. Celestial Strategist and Lord Dark Feather watched from the sidelines. The battle continued 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It was a crazy battle. More accurately speaking, the golden horned beast had been clinging onto Venerable Sea Jian. Even though it was constantly being beaten down, the golden horned beast did not retreat, and continued to exchange blows with Venerable Sea Jian. Celestial Strategist and Dark Feather Lord stared blankly at this scene. This, with the strength of Venerable Sea Jian's divine body, after such a long time, he should have burnt about 3%. Celestial Strategist was shocked, but the golden horned beast's aura doesn't seem to have changed at all. He has burnt for so long, and his divine body hasn't weakened at all. Dark Feather Lord was also shocked. Venerable Sea Jian was no longer as arrogant and cold as before. Instead, he was extremely shocked and furious. After fighting with me for so long and being completely suppressed, my divine body has burnt up to 3%, yet he doesn't seem to have changed at all? The high-level treasure armor is really powerful. Because he felt that the golden horned beast was very weak. He even thought that the armor probably hadn't reached its 3rd form yet. However, even the 2nd form of a high-level treasure armor could only weaken 1,000th of its power. Even the high-level treasure armor is useless. Break for me. The jade-green sword light suddenly flickered, directly tearing apart the endless golden river and slashing the golden horned beast. Puff. Puff, 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 puff. A total of 9 slashes. Like a sword cage, continuously slashing the golden horned beast's divine body. Each slash was stronger than the last, to the point that the 9th slash consumed 2% of Venerable Sea Jian's divine body. The moment the 9th slash was unleashed, Venerable Sea Jian's divine body went from 97% to 89%. What? Venerable Sea Jian stared in shock, disbelief and fear at the golden horned beast. His divine body actually didn't weaken. Howl, the golden horned beast roared and flapped its wings, its huge wings like blades slashing over again. His attacks are very ordinary, his comprehension of the laws isn't high. He shouldn't be able to use the 3rd form of the high-level treasure armor. Venerable Flying Sword was in a state of complete shock and panic. Moreover, this is a high-grade Supreme Treasure Divine Sword, and I'm using an ultimate move that I've perfected over countless years in Terminus. Even a Universe Overlord with a high-grade Supreme Treasure Armor would be heavily injured by it. Rumble! The golden horned beast tumbled backwards. Before flapping its wings and breaking through the waves, it once again charged towards Sword Sway. Venerable Sea Jian, I've said it before, let's see who's going to die. The golden horned beast roared. Venerable Sea Jian's eyes flashed with fear. He understood. He understood the golden horned beast's plan. Damn it. Venerable Sea Jian turned into a beam of light, trying to escape. Hua 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 under the pressure of the endless golden river. His speed was too slow, and the golden horned beast was 100 times faster than him, instantly catching up. Even if my divine body is only 42%, that's still the strength of 600 million sector lords, and a powerful divine body that's thousands of kilometers long. It's 1,000,000 times, 10 million times more powerful than you. and my armor is a pinnacle treasure. Even a universe lord would find it hard to reach its limit. Even if you have a god treasure sword, even if your techniques are powerful, under the armor, they would be weakened to a 10,000th of its power. I can't kill you, I'll exhaust you to death. Under the Nine River, you can't even escape, the only path left is death. The golden-horned beast let out a sky-shaking roar, and Venerable Si Jian was no longer as cold and arrogant as before. All he had was panic and rage. He wanted to escape, but he couldn't. Quick, escape. Quick. Celestial Strategist and Dark Feather understood, and immediately flew out of the Nine River region, flying far away. What a terrifying golden-horned beast! Dark Feather was shocked. The way he blocked us just now was very clumsy, like a middle-tier knight of the universe. I always thought his armor was only at its second form. Celestial Strategist's old voice resounded. I originally thought that once Venerable Si Jian used his ultimate move, he would be able to heavily injure the golden-horned beast, but we were wrong. Venerable Si Jian's divine body was greatly weakened, but the golden-horned beast actually. It didn't change at all. Dark Feather and Celestial Strategist were both shocked. He's dead. Venerable Si Jian is dead. Dark Feather and Celestial Strategist glanced at each other, their eyes filled with shock. They could tell that the golden-horned beast was a terrifying being that couldn't be killed no matter what. Even though his offensive methods weren't good, under the pressure of a domain treasure, Venerable Si Jian couldn't escape and was forced to fight. If Venerable Si Jian continued to burn his divine body would continuously weaken, and eventually he would fall into deep slumber. If Venerable Si Jian didn't burn his divine body, his strength would immediately weaken by 1,000 times. At that time, with just the Nine River, he would be able to injure Venerable Si Jian time and time again. Every time he was injured, his divine body would be consumed. If he didn't burn, he would die. If he burned, he would die. He couldn't escape. If he didn't, he would die. Golden-horned beast, let me live. Venerable Si Jian gritted his teeth, unwilling to give up, he communicated. Dream on. The golden-horned beast's roar shook the skies. Just wait for your death. You're forcing me. Venerable Si Jian was furious and anxious. I am forcing you. Didn't you want to kill me just now? My comprehension of the laws is weaker than yours, but the result will still be your death. The golden-horned beast surrounded him time and time again. The pressure of the Nine River made it impossible for Venerable Si Jian to escape. If not for the Nine River, Venerable Si Jian would have escaped long ago. The reason why domain treasures were so valuable was because of this. If one had an advantage, it could trap the enemy. If one was weak, he could escape. It could easily kill a large group of weaklings. You. Venerable Si Jian raged. Just wait for your death. The golden-horned beast continued to attack. Even though Venerable Si Jian's battle strength was many levels higher than the golden-horned beast's, his divine body was constantly weakening. He didn't dare to not burn his divine body. If he didn't, his defense would be reduced to 0.1%, and he would be easily trampled upon. His divine body would be consumed even faster. But burning was equivalent to burning his life force. 60% to 50%, 40%. As his divine body continued to weaken, so did his strength. As his strength decreased, his divine body was consumed even faster. Golden-horned beast. Venerable Si Jian roared, if I were to reverse time and revive, I would definitely step into the universe lord level and kill you to avenge today. Then I'll kill you once more. The golden-horned beast roared, remember, it's me, don't find the wrong opponent, it's a pity, a universe lord like you would have a hard time being revived. Just wait. Venerable Si Jian's hatred grew. He came from the Nine Territories Alliance, and the Nine Territories Alliance didn't have the strongest of the universe. As a universe lord, The moment he died, if the Nine Territories Alliance wanted to revive him, they would have to seek help from other powers or the strongest of the universe. The price would be huge. Venerable Si Jian wasn't sure if the Nine Territories Alliance would be willing to pay that price. 32%. Venerable Si Jian felt the weakness of his divine body, and was even more enraged. If he didn't explode, he would fall into a deep slumber. He would probably be controlled by his soul and become a slave, never to rise again. If he exploded, he would fall, with no guarantee of revival. He might die forever. If he didn't explode, he would die. If he exploded, he might revive. Damn the golden horned beast! Ah! Venerable Si Jian roared unwillingly and exploded. Rumble! Venerable Feng Jian's self-detonation turned into an endless wave of energy that swept out in all directions. It caused the Golden Nine Palaces river that traversed the starry sky to stir up waves that were over 10,000 kilometers long before they were destroyed. Humph! The golden horned beast looked coldly at this scene. I wanted to have a good chat with you, yet you wanted to kill me and steal my treasures. Unfortunately, the treasures are in my hands. With a wave of his hand from afar, the two treasures flew over. It was a dark green armor and a jade green god sword. Such a strong universe lord only has two treasures? The golden horned beast kept the treasures. Far away in space, Celestial Strategist and Dark Feather Leader, who didn't even dare to get close to the Golden Nine Sea River, were shocked and sighed. A universe lord had fallen just like that. Hua hua, the golden waves rumbled, the golden horned beast stepped on the waves in space, his divine energy resounding. Celestial Strategist, Dark Feather Leader, do you still want to be my enemy? P.S. 2 chapters completed. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1080. Celestial Strategist and Dark Feather Leader glanced at each other, understanding each other's thoughts. Even though they were afraid of the golden horned beast, it was only fear. After all, they were flying far away. The golden horned beast's Nine-Sea River couldn't reach them. Without the pressure of the Nine-Sea River, they could easily accelerate to 100 times the original universe speed of light, making it impossible for the golden horned beast to catch them. However, no one was willing to be chased like a stray dog to the point where they had to flee. We didn't have any intentions of being enemies with you, it's just that the killing intent of the Sword Sage was too strong, we could only follow him. Celestial Strategist's old voice said. The golden horned beast looked at the two silhouettes in the distance and said majestically, I wonder if you can tell me, how did you get here? How much do you know about this danger zone? Dark Feather Leader's demonic voice resounded. In history, many warriors fell into this danger zone. Most of them were adventuring in the universe's secret regions and accidentally got teleported here. The teleportation methods are all sorts of strange. There were also some who just floated in the universe and were suddenly swallowed in normal space and ended up in this danger zone. There's no pattern. Celestial Strategist's old voice said too. The golden horned beast was silent. After a moment of silence, has anyone left? Me, Dark Feather Leader and the Sword Sage didn't have clones. The moment we fell into danger, our clones crumbled. That's why we don't know about the outside world. But the Supremacy Tsanghua we know has the ability to clone himself. His clone has discovered powerhouses in the outside world, entering a land of despair before appearing in the outside world. Tsanghua Sage. The golden horned beast said, where is he? In the end, he gave up on his clone and a treasure before self-destructing and leaving. Celestial Strategist said. Are there others trapped in the danger zone? The golden horned beast asked. Yes. There are quite a few. Celestial Strategist and Dark Feather Leader said. Where? The golden horned beast looked at the two. It must be in this vast terminus starry sky. As for where? Other races often change their locations, we can't be sure. Dark Feather Leader said. How big is the danger zone? The golden horned beast asked a very concerned question. The perilous zone is about 100,000 light-years in diameter. It looks like an ordinary starry sky. Lord Gloom sighed. But no matter how I fly, I can only fly 100,000 light-years away. Once I fly out of this area, I'll unknowingly fly back to the star field that I passed through before. It's like a maze, forever flying in it. Luo Feng was shocked. A diameter of nearly 100,000 light-years? Maze? Since it was similar to a maze, but these foreign race experts were still able to clearly explore it, it was clear that they had been flying for a long time. This is a huge cage, and we, the experts of the other races, are the prisoners, locked up in here forever. I can't escape no matter what. You Gloom looked at the golden-horned beast. You are the golden-horned beast, you definitely have the ability to split yourself. If you are willing to give up the treasure, you can definitely self-destruct your god body and leave. The celestial strategist Venerable's old voice said, Golden-horned beast, I advise you to self-destruct. After all, you have a clone. Once you've been trapped for countless years, you'll know how painful it is to be trapped forever. As for the treasures, as long as they don't die, there will be a day when they can make a comeback. Howl, the golden-horned beast howled throughout space. Celestial strategist Venerable, you Gloom leader, self-destruct, I naturally wouldn't make such a decision so easily, I'll leave first. What? The rumbling golden waves vanished, the golden-horned beast too vanished, a black silhouette appeared in mid-air, swiftly becoming a beam of light and flying swiftly. Looking at the distant beam of light disappearing into the horizon. Si Jian night has fallen. The celestial strategist Venerable sighed softly. Who can he blame? You Gloom leader sneered. Usually he uses his strength to suppress the two of us, to fall to this golden-horned beast, it's his bad luck. In space. The Masha clansman sat crossed-legged on a meteorite, becoming a beam of light and drifting about in space. He actually killed a universe tyrant. The black-clothed Luo Feng sighed within. Luckily it's a danger zone, completely unable to communicate with the outside world, and unable to call for help. Otherwise, how could a universe tyrant die so easily? It was extremely hard for a universe tyrant to fall. Firstly, they could escape if things went south. Even if they couldn't escape due to various reasons, they could still think of ways to stall for time and immediately call for help. Like the Si Jian Knight, if he were to fight the golden-horned beast on the primal planet, he would at most be injured by the beast, and the other warriors of the Nine Regions Alliance would immediately rush over to help. And in a danger zone, there was no way to call for help at all, causing the Si Jian Knight to be killed. Within our human race, amongst the many universe tyrants, there are some who don't even have a record of killing a universe tyrant. I've actually killed a universe tyrant right now. Ha! The black-clothed Luo Feng shook his head and laughed. This time killing the Si Jian Knight, the golden-horned beast's body merely dropped from 42%, reaching 41.9%. What? Sitting crossed-legged on the meteorite, he continued to fly swiftly in space. In the blink of an eye, another 2 months had passed. Within Luo Feng's vast god country, within the endless dark ocean, before the golden shrine. I've finally succeeded. Luo Feng stood up. After spending over a year, he had finally completed the 6th and 7th level of the 9-level manual. Of course this was due to the Earth-human's small body. Like the golden-horned beast, it was still only at the 6th level, and it was just the beginning. Obviously the evolution of the huge body was extremely slow as well. Back then when I trained the first 5 levels, my god body gene was 48 times. Because I absorbed 100 blood river crystals, theoretically speaking, the crystals should be able to raise it by 100 times. However, the further I go, the weaker the effect, it only allowed me to reach 3,000 times. I've now trained another 2 levels. My body is about 9,800 times, it hasn't reached the perfect gene level. Luo Feng sighed. Obviously the increase in genes from the blood river crystals, at least to the Earth human body, it wasn't able to reach 100% compatibility. Like the golden horned beast, it was 100% compatible. The first 7 levels of the 9-level manual had already raised it to 192 times, and the 100 crystals only raised it by 50 times. 9,800 times. Among the unique special life forms in the universe, there are very few that are that strong. I should be satisfied. What's more, there's still the 8th level. The 9th level. I don't believe that after training the 9th level, I won't be able to reach the perfect gene level. Luo Feng was anticipating within, and my golden horned beast will definitely be able to reach the perfect gene level in one go. The golden horned beast's body had already exceeded 6,000 times before. The 6th and 7th level were extremely strong, the blood river crystals and the golden horned beast were 100% compatible. As long as there were no accidents, it would definitely reach the perfect gene level. When that time comes, the golden horned beast will truly be heaven-defying. At least when that time comes, I'll be able to unleash that unbelievable natural talent, I am the universe. Luo Feng was anticipating that day. However, according to the time, the golden horned beast would probably have to train for over 100 years before it could complete the 6th and 7th level. It'll only take 100 years. In the blink of an eye. Vast space. The black-clothed Luo Feng sat crossed-legged on the meteorite. His speed seemed extremely fast, however compared to the vastness of space, it was only a slow drift. Hua! Suddenly, countless ripples appeared in space ahead. What? Sitting on the meteorite, Luo Feng followed the inertia and passed through the ripples without any obstruction. However, as his body passed through the ripples, a formless energy passed through his body, even passing through the world ring and entering the golden horned beast's body. Nothing could be blocked. He was completely passed through by the ripples. The feeling of the ripples passing through his body was extremely uncomfortable, almost like layers of knives slicing through his body. As he passed through the ripples, the Masha clansman was left with only 30% of his body. What a terrifying space ripple! Just what is that? How did the space change? Luo Feng was shocked to discover that as he passed through the ripples, the space before him had completely changed. The space before was very similar to the normal space of the universe. The stars were usually very far away and the planets were very normal too. However, this part of space, it was so beautiful and varied. The star systems were all relatively close to each other, forming a beautiful picture. Luo Feng could even feel the origin law engravings within these countless planets. Within this danger zone, there's still another space? Luo Feng thought. Sitting on the meteorite, Luo Feng flew slowly, very quickly nearing the first closest planet. That planet was yellow in color, it seemed normal. However, Luo Feng felt it. This planet is completely yellow in color, there's no life at all. Its diameter is 21,000 kilometers. Star-tier gold. It actually contains a mine of star-tier gold. The pale-faced Luo Feng sat on the meteorite, looking at the lifeless planet. He was shocked. The reserves are actually so strong, if I swallow it, even with my golden horned beast's huge body, I should be able to recover to 80%. Luo Feng felt that it was unbelievable. Star-tier gold, even though it was a G-grade metal, it was extremely special. It was said that when an extremely large star finally collapses into a black hole, it will produce a metal star-tier gold. This star-tier gold was known as the tear of a star. Even though it was a G-grade metal, but in terms of its uses, it was much more valuable. Luo Feng had never seen such a precious metal mine, almost taking up the entire planet. Even with a universe overlord-level god body, even if it was over 1,000 km huge, after swallowing this planet, it would recover to 80%. Hua! Luo Feng immediately vanished and the golden horned beast appeared. So, the golden horned beast immediately flew out of the meteorite, swiftly heading towards the yellow planet. After a while, when it was about to reach the yellow planet, the golden horned beast was already very close to a distant gold planet. Just casually extending its divine energy to sense, however, the result made the golden horned beast shocked. What? That gold planet contains a void stone mine. What a terrifying amount, in terms of value. It's not much different from the star tear gold on this planet. Rumble. The golden horned beast landed on the yellow planet, raising its head and gazing at the endless planets in space. I've checked 2 planets, both of them have precious mines. And this mysterious space has countless planets. Don't tell me they all have precious mines? P.S. Here's the first chapter. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1081. Silence. The mysterious space was silent. Other than the golden horned beast itself, there were no other living beings. No matter what, let's first recover my god body. Once I'm stronger, I'll be able to better deal with danger. The golden horned beast immediately began to grow, from 1 m long to 100,000 kilometers long, floating in space. One had to know that the planet's diameter was only 20,000 kilometers. The golden horned beast was even bigger than the planet. Natural ability. Swallow. The golden horned beast opened its mouth. Immediately the space around the planet began to distort. If it wanted to, it could swallow the entire planet in one gulp. However, the golden horned beast felt that it would be a waste to destroy such a precious star tear gold planet. Hence, it controlled the size of the swallow. Countless star-tier gold ore flew out. Star-tier gold mixed with some rocks flew into the golden horned beast's mouth. Like a black hole, it swallowed continuously. The moment the star-tear gold and rocks entered the golden horned beast's stomach, they were completely absorbed and transformed into gold energy, allowing the golden horned beast's god body to constantly recover. After a while, after half of the star-tear gold on this planet was swallowed, the golden horned beast stopped. At this time, its god body had just recovered over 60%. Let's go to the next planet. The golden horned beast directly flew towards the nearest planet, once again devouring the void stone mines. This time, it devoured close to half of the void stone mines on the entire planet. When its divine body recovered to 80%, it headed towards the third planet. As expected, on the third planet there was an equally precious barium crystal lake. Barium crystal was a black liquid metal that shone like stars on the surface, similar to Mercury. On this third planet there were a total of 3 huge lakes, taking up 90% of the planet's surface. They were all formed from barium crystal. The golden horned beast drank one of the lakes in one gulp. Its god body completely recovered. Unbelievable! Floating in space outside the third planet, it gazed at this mysterious space. I can feel the fourth planet too. There's actually more. Just this solar system alone has a total of 12 planets. I'm afraid they all have precious treasures. The golden horned beast gazed into the distance. If just one solar system is like this, what about the other solar systems? With a glance, countless solar systems were very close to each other, forming beautiful engravings that shocked Luo Feng. The entire space was like a gigantic space engravings. Even though it was mysterious and beautiful, it was just too lonely, without any other creatures. The golden horned beast flew to the fourth planet, fifth planet, planet by planet. It scanned each planet carefully, trying to figure out just what secrets this piece of space held. Boom! A powerful aura exploded from the planet closest to the star. The powerful God Force aura spread out in all directions at a speed of 30 million kilometers per second. Within moments, it attracted the attention of the golden horned beast on the planet closest to the star. Its God power! A very strong God energy. It should be a universe night. The golden-horned beast raised its head and looked in that direction, following which it flapped its wings and swiftly flew over. He broke through the air and flew away. As its speed continued to rise, gradually, the golden-horned beast could see a majestic silhouette flying over from that direction. The golden-horned beast maintained its 1,000 kilometers long body, and from another direction, a 100 kilometers long huge body was flying over. This is. The golden-horned beast looked shocked at the foreign universe night. It was actually a reptilian life form with black scales and a total of 6 heavenly pillars like hooves. The space beast gen. The space beast gen was considered the second tier of the space beasts. Just below the 12 pinnacle bloodlines, the golden-horned beast and gen were flying towards each other. Golden-horned beast. Gen. Their auras were strong. The two warriors met in space. You're here too? The golden-horned beast let out a powerful voice. Because you're here, hence I've come. Gen roared, I've received orders from the Space Beast Alliance to receive you. Follow me. While what? The golden-horned beast was stunned. Luo Feng was dumbfounded. Before, he thought this space beast was trapped in a danger zone too. However, from the sounds of it, it was actually under the orders of the Space Beast Alliance to receive him. Don't tell me this space belongs to the Alliance? The golden-horned beast said. Of course. Zhen nodded slightly at the head that was covered in a layer of shield-like armor. This part of the starry sky is specially used by the Interstellar Beast Alliance to cultivate countless precious materials. I already know that you have swallowed some mineral veins. These mineral veins belong to the Interstellar Beast Alliance. Normally, individuals are not allowed to take them away. You don't know the rules, hence the Alliance won't punish you. What's more, you've been drifting in the universe for so long. You've just returned. The Alliance won't punish us brothers of the same race. The golden-horned beast blinked. This so-called danger zone? The golden-horned beast was stunned. This is the space controlled by the greatest being of the Alliance, the primogenitor. It's also the most important sacred land of the space beasts. Zhen roared, the primogenitor is one of the greatest beings in the universe. He caused the laws of this space to completely change, making it completely different from the universe outside. Primogenitor Luo Feng understood, the primogenitor should be the strongest in the universe. Are we still in the actual universe? The golden-horned beast asked. Right. Zhen explained, it's just that this space is almost completely cut off from the outside world. Only wormholes can teleport. To prevent the other races from invading, this space is separated into outer space and inner space. The outer space is the region where the other races are trapped, and have been trapped for countless years. And the inner space is hidden within. You should have broken through a layer of space ripples to enter. Only us space beasts can enter without being killed. The other races can't even discover us, much less enter. The golden-horned beast understood. The danger zone was actually just a buffer zone outside the sacred land of the Space Beast Alliance. How did you get here? The golden-horned beast asked. In space, we can't teleport from the God Country. How did you suddenly appear? Us space beasts rarely descend into this space. We're usually at the core of the space, which is also the core of our sacred land, the Star God Mountain. Zhen roared. I received orders, hence I specially came to receive you, and was immediately teleported to that planet. In this space, among the many planets in every star system, there's a wormhole within that connects directly to the Star God Mountain. Zhen roared. Every star system has a wormhole? The golden-horned beast was shocked. Yes. The ancestors' power is limitless. Creating a wormhole is a piece of cake. Zhen said. Let's go. The ultimate beings of the Alliance are still waiting to meet you. All right. So. Two majestic silhouettes flew across space, heading towards the planet that was the third closest to the star. Golden-horned beast, do you want your god body to be smaller? Become smaller. Zhen roared. All right. While flying, the golden horned beast became 100 kilometers long, similar to Zhen. The two chatted as they flew towards the planet. Reaching the planet, the two swiftly shrunk to a few meters in size. Following a deep cave, they directly reached the planet's underground core. This is the wormhole. Through it we can reach the Star God Mountain, Zhen said. Let's go. The golden horned beast was also filled with anticipation, looking at the space whirlpool in front of it. This space whirlpool was only a few tens of meters in diameter, and it had always existed stably. Zhen and the golden horned beast, one in front and one behind, flew into the space whirlpool. This was a vast space. Within the space there were countless space whirlpools. Each of them weren't large, only a few tens of meters in diameter. But there were too many of them. They were densely packed. One couldn't see the end, almost surrounding this space. And in the center of this space, where countless space whirlpools revolved, was a majestic mountain range. The golden horned beast and Zhen simultaneously came out of the space whirlpool. The golden horned beast looked at the scene in front of it in shock. In space, there were countless space whirlpools scattered throughout the space, like little flowers revolving around the huge mountain range. The pitch-black mountain range. This was an incomparably huge mountain range that was a few light-years tall. It was completely comparable to the Star Pagoda or the ancestral god Sek's base. This pitch-black mountain range floated in the air. One could faintly feel a strong aura. One could even occasionally see the silhouettes of space beasts flying within. Do you see, the great beings of our Space Beast Alliance, no matter if it's the Universe Lord, or the greatest primogenitor, they all live there. Zhen roared, his eyes filled with pride. This is the sacred land of our alliance, the sacred land of our space beasts, the Star God Mountain. The golden horned beast was shocked as well. There are countless warriors in the Star God Mountain, countless treasures, countless inheritances, everything. It's even connected to a universe. Zhen roared, that is a universe that completely belongs to us space beasts. Universe. The golden horned beast was shocked. Yes, Zhen said proudly, universe. A universe that completely belongs to us space beasts. Come, head to the Star God Mountain. Every wanderer who returns from the universe has to head to the Star God Mountain. As long as you receive the recognition of the Star God Mountain, you will be one of us. This is also to get rid of the other races. After all, some of our Space Beast Alliance children have already been possessed by other races. It's hard to identify them. However, on the Star God Mountain, nothing can be hidden. The golden horned beast was shocked. Not good. Let's go. There are already many universe lords of our race waiting to see you, Zhen urged, following which he looked at the distant majestic mountain range. Look, even the strongest have come to welcome you. The golden horned beast looked over, only to see many huge golden horned beasts, at least 10 of them flying over, their powerful auras spreading out. It's the warriors of your golden horned beast race, Zhen said. Update complete. My monthly votes are now 4th. If I work hard, I'll be able to rush to 2nd. Everyone please support Tomato. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1082. Luo Feng had roamed the universe for close to 100,000 years. This was his first time meeting other golden horned beasts, and one time he met over 10 of them. Brother! Welcome back, brother! The 10 golden horned beasts swiftly flew closer, at the same time their powerful voices resounded. Brother wandering the universe, welcome home. Golden horned Luo Feng could only welcome them with Zhen. Zhen immediately roared, I've already received orders to bring him here. Since your golden horned beasts are here, I'll leave him to you. Go. Leave it to us. Leave everything to us. The 10 golden horned beast warriors all said. Zhen nodded and smiled at Luo Feng, after which he became a beam of light and flew away. And golden horned Luo Feng was surrounded by 10 golden horned beasts. This group of golden-horned beasts were all very passionate. They had all roamed the universe alone for eons before being accepted into the alliance. Hence, towards every member of the same race that had just returned, the seniors would always be very sincere and passionate. I'm Fan Knight. I'm Shanwen Knight. I'm Su-Jin Knight. Their names were all different. After all, every golden-horned beast had their own unique experiences. Wandering the universe, they had long given themselves names. The normal knight titles were all different too. Golden-horned Luofeng faced the passion of this group of golden-horned beasts. He could only say, I'm Gold Peak Knight. Haha, Gold Peak Knight, welcome home. Reaching the universe knight level for the first time to return to the Alliance, it's already very rare. To be able to train to the universe knight level alone, Gold Peak Knight, my brother, your talent is really strong. With the Alliance's help, you'll definitely become stronger. Golden-horned Luofeng occasionally spoke beside, however within he really liked the atmosphere. These golden-horned beasts were naturally cold and bloodthirsty, however this bloodthirst was only towards other races. Meeting other space beasts, they would feel a sense of closeness. When meeting their own race, they would feel a sense of closeness from their bloodlines. Legend has it that the Space Beast Alliance is very mysterious. Internally they are extremely united, no wonder. Golden-horned Luofeng sighed within. They've been alone for too long. Meeting their own race, they naturally treat them like family. Go, go, go. Even the Universe Lords are getting impatient. Stop it. Let's hurry back. Over 10 golden-horned beasts brought golden-horned Luofeng. In space, this large group of golden-horned beasts roared amongst themselves, simultaneously flying towards the distant astral god mountain. Golden-horned Luofeng and the other 10 golden-horned beasts flew through the air, at the same time worried. According to what Najin said, there's nowhere to hide in the starry sky god mountain. Won't I be discovered? However, Luofeng also understood that this was the Space Beast Alliance's greatest being, the primogenitor's territory. He could no longer retreat. Sovereign Su-Jin. As the golden-horned beast flew, it asked, which Universe Lord is it that wants to see me? There are a few Universe Lords who are curious about you, but the first ones you'll meet are of course the 2 Universe Lords of the golden-horned beast lineage, the Golden-Horned Master and the Whirlwind Master. 2. Golden-horned Luofeng was shocked. My golden-horned beast bloodline is extremely powerful. Of the 12 peak bloodlines, each bloodline only has 1 Universe Lord. And our golden-horned beast lineage has 2. Venerable Sale said proudly, the Golden-Horn Master is the most ancient master of the universe of our Golden-Horn lineage, while the Master of Annihilation is a new master of the universe. He became a master of the universe 1,000 epochs ago. Golden-horned Luofeng listened obediently. They chatted as they flew, flying at 100 times the original universe's light speed, very quickly arriving at the vast and endless Astral God Mountain. Astral God Mountain. Golden-horned Luofeng looked carefully, only to find that the rocks of this endless mountain range were completely pitch black. It wasn't black, but a feeling similar to a black hole. Almost as though every rock was a black hole, this Astral God Mountain was extremely vast, separated into many regions. There were many huge shrines built, much larger than the human shrines. Space ripples. Golden-horned Luofeng felt space ripples for the first time. We can teleport to places with space ripples. This is the primogenitor's way of allowing us to swiftly travel to different places. However, many important places don't have space ripples. Follow me. Head to the Golden-Horned Master's shrine. These 10 golden-horned beast warriors passionately guided them as they flew within the Astral God Mountain. One had to know that the Astral God Mountain was a few light years tall. Even the size of the golden-horned beast was like an earthworm on a sun. So, sometimes teleporting, sometimes advancing, after about 6 minutes, they finally arrived at an incomparably majestic palace carved with countless golden-horned beast carvings. This palace was over 100 million km tall, emitting an endless pressure. Luo Feng immediately determined, this should be a flying palace type treasure. This is the Golden Horned Master's flying palace treasure, it's extremely powerful. Fan Knight said. Let's go enter. In the plaza before the palace, there were a few undying level golden horned beasts flying about, playing with each other. When they saw golden horned Luo Feng flying over, they all looked curiously at him. One had to know that there were very few golden horned beasts in the entire Star Alliance. They recognized almost all of them, however they didn't recognize the one brought by the 10 golden horned beast warriors. Don't tell me this is his first time returning to the Alliance? He was just brought in? His body's energy is so strong, even stronger than many universe warriors. The undying golden horned beasts all discussed softly. And Fan Knight and Su Jin Knight led Luo Feng directly to the entrance of the palace. Even though this was the Golden Horned Master's palace, there were no guards. Enter, my child. A powerful voice resounded. Golden Horned Luo Feng felt his bloodline tremble and submit. He knew this voice was from the Golden Horned Master. The Golden Horned Master was the most ancient universe lord of the Golden Horned Beast bloodline. It was normal for him to call a returning member of his race child. After all, Luo Feng was countless eras later than him. Enter. Let's go. Fan Knight and the others along with Golden Horned Luo Feng, their 4 hooves strode forward, entering the vast shrine. Their pace was very fast. Every second they flew over 1,000,000 km, flying straight to the center of the shrine and stopping. Greetings, Golden Horned Master, Annihilation Master. Fan Knight and the other 10 Golden Horned Beast Warriors said respectfully. Greetings, Golden Horned Master, Annihilation Master. Golden Horned Luo Feng too shouted respectfully, after which he raised his head. Looking at the highest point of the shrine, there stood a majestic golden horned beast with huge scaled wings. This was a terrifying being with an aura like the endless universe, gazing down at Luo Feng. On the left stood a golden horned beast covered in dark red armor. On top of the 5 horns, there was an extra long golden horn in the middle. As it gazed down at Luo Feng, its eyes were filled with endless whirlpools, almost as though the universe had been annihilated. Annihilation Master. Luo Feng immediately determined that the dark red armored golden horned beast was the new universe lord, the Annihilation Lord. Fan Knight, you all leave first. The golden horned master gazed down and said slowly, yes. The 10 golden horned beast warriors all retreated respectfully and flew away. The only ones left in the shrine were Golden Horned Luo Feng below and the 2 Universe Lords above, Golden Horned Master and Annihilation Master. What a powerful god body! The Golden Horned Master gazed below and exclaimed, his voice majestic, I didn't expect you to reach such a level while roaming the universe alone. Comparable to many Universe Lords. The Annihilation Master's voice was gentler. Golden Horned Luo Feng listened obediently. From the surface, it was impossible to tell that Luo Feng was undying. Firstly, his god body was indeed strong, and secondly, the space laws were the upper laws of metal, wood, water, fire and earth. Even if he was a space knight, his god body could easily manifest any of the 5 elements, and he could manifest the complete space. And the golden horned beasts usually manifested the gold element in their space energy. To be able to reach this level alone, you are very outstanding. The golden horned master gazed below, his eyes filled with a smile. I've discussed with the other universe lords, we'll provide you with special training. Under the Alliance's training, you have a high chance of stepping into the universe lord level. Ha! On the left, the Annihilation Master laughed too, gazing at Luo Feng. If you step into the Universe Lord level, our Golden Horned Beast bloodline will have 3 Universe Lords, and we'll be ranked number 1 among the 12 bloodlines like the Mountain Ravine Beast bloodline. Mountain Ravine Beast, one of the 12 pinnacle bloodlines. Luo Feng listened obediently. Sighing within, if I didn't have any strong warriors nurturing me to reach this level, then with the Space Beast Alliance's careful nurturing, I would indeed have a high chance of becoming a Universe Lord. No wonder the Space Beast Alliance valued him so much. It was a pity. He indeed had the ability and hope of reaching the Universe Lord level. However, he was a human, not a golden-horned beast. Space God Mountain has many inheritances and countless treasures. Raise your bloodlines. God Body Vibration Technique. Soul Vibration Technique. Anything is possible. The golden-horned master gazed at Luo Feng, and the envoy and general inheritances of the ancestral god sect, even the beast god inheritance, are naturally there too. In fact, the divine general's inheritance is just a set of special secret techniques with great power compared to some amplification secret technique. Luo Feng understood. Just like the demon note inheritance, it was formed from two aspects. One of them was a soul-amplifying secret technique, and the other was a demonic sound technique. Actually, the Great Alliance too had the God Body and Soul Vibration techniques. The only thing was that they required contribution points to exchange. Luo Feng's current contribution points were definitely enough. The only thing was that training required a long period of time, hence Luo Feng decided to first acquire the fourth black metal board before returning to learn. The Golden Horned Master and Annihilation Master suddenly turned their heads and looked at each other. Golden Horned Luo Feng felt something amiss too. He looked up at the two Universe Lords. Child, the Primogenitor ordered me to personally meet you. The Golden Horned Master's powerful voice resounded. Simultaneously, he took a step forward and walked down from the throne. P.S. First chapter has arrived. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidien.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1083. Meet the Ancestor? Luo Feng was really shocked. The reason why the 9 great powers of the universe could be called that was because they had the strongest warriors in the universe. Like the creator of the huge axe, even though Luo Feng was from the human race, he had never met or spoken to him before. The only person he had seen who was the strongest in the universe was Mountain Guest. And now he wanted to meet the strongest warrior of the Space Beast Alliance? Rumble, the Golden Horned Lord's 4 hooves stepped on the ground, seemingly slow, but he had already arrived beside Luo Feng. Don't worry, don't be afraid. The Golden Horned Lord looked at Luo Feng with a warm gaze. Our Space Beast Alliance has many knights, but most of them have never met the Ancestor. For you to be able to meet him personally the moment you were brought back, this is also your fortune. Whirlwind Destruction Lord walked down too. If the Ancestor values you, then the resources you'll receive will be much, much more. In our Star Alliance, the Ancestor's authority is the highest. I'm just a little afraid. Luo Feng roared softly. It'd be weird if you weren't afraid, let's go. The Golden Horned Lord immediately controlled the surrounding space to bind Luo Feng, after which he became a beam of light and flew out. Beside him Whirlwind Destruction Lord too flew out. Flying, teleportation, flying, the Golden Horned Lord and Whirlwind Destruction Lord led Luo Feng, spending close to 20 minutes to reach the peak of the Starry Sky God Mountain. The entire peak of the mountain actually had an independent mountain peak. This mountain peak was over 100 million km tall. It seemed illusory. At first glance it seemed illusory, but on closer inspection it seemed real. Especially this independent mountain peak had countless beast carvings, almost including the different races of the space beasts. At the foot of this independent mountain peak, there were a total of 12 space beast knights standing guard. These 12 space beasts were the 12 pinnacle bloodlines. Golden Horned Lord, Whirlwind Destruction Lord. These 12 guards bowed respectfully, simultaneously automatically opening up a path. Obviously they had received orders from the Ancestor long ago. The Golden Horned Lord and Whirlwind Destruction Lord walked ahead. Luo Feng followed behind, following a mountain path upward. This is the Primogenitor Mountain. The Golden Horned Lord said slowly. It's also an extremely terrifying absolute treasure. It is very scary. Golden Horn Luo Feng too felt the pressure. This primogenitor mountain's pressure was simply too strong, causing his forelegs to go soft. However, it made sense, a treasure used by the strongest warrior of the universe. Naturally its power was overwhelming. Even if it was not as good as the Star Tower, it would only be slightly weaker. Shao Chun believed that it would definitely be stronger than Qian Baohe. The reason why he was certain that it was stronger than Qian Baohe was purely because of Luo Feng's intuition. He was already a strong warrior, at least when the treasure released its pressure, he could determine the strength of the treasure. They walked along the mountain path. In the primogenitor mountain, you must follow this mountain path. Otherwise, you will be attacked by the primogenitor mountain. Even a simple attack from the primogenitor mountain can easily annihilate a universe paragon. Therefore, you cannot barge in without permission. The Golden Horn Master pointed and advanced. Soon, they arrived at the depths of the primogenitor mountain that was hundreds of millions of kilometers tall. Primogenitor! Primogenitor! The Golden Horn Master and the Annihilation Master lowered their heads respectfully at the same time to show their respect. Primogenitor? Golden Horn Luofeng didn't even see it. Looking carefully at the distant surroundings, only then did he see an illusory and soft body slowly appear. Simultaneously, a huge head extended out from the depths of the mountain. This head was similar to a dragon's head, only there were a total of 9 horns on it. The 9 horns revolved around the head, almost like a crown. Just this head alone was a few thousand km long. At the same time, in the distant mountain forest, a part of a claw that was not real or fake could be seen. Golden Horn Luofeng could clearly see that the claw had a total of 9 claws. Even though the entire body of the primogenitor was only half a claw, one could still deduce that it was at least tens of thousands of km long. Greetings, primogenitor. Golden Horn Luofeng lowered his head. The primogenitor's eyelids lifted slightly. His gaze seemed to pierce through everything. Looking at Golden Horn Luofeng, a voice that seemed to resonate from every inch of space resounded. This is the rare genius of our Space Beast Alliance? Yes. Annihilation Master said respectfully. Primogenitor. The Golden Horn Master raised his head. He was much more casual. This child has just been brought back and his body is already this strong. It's extremely rare. And the news from Flame Star earlier, this child was able to acquire the Sword River net part from the Primal Star. Even though we don't care about that part. But it also reflects his capabilities. Haha, I believe our golden-horned beast race will soon produce the 3rd Universe Lord. Golden Horn Luofeng lowered his head beside. Sword River net part? He had already exchanged it for the 9 Nether River treasure. You two return first. The primogenitor ordered. Yes. Annihilation Master replied. The Golden Horn Master was immediately overjoyed. Primogenitor, you have to personally nurture him. He's a rare genius of our golden-horned beast race, don't try to fool us. The primogenitor replied. The Golden Horn Master was immediately overjoyed. The Golden Horn Master simultaneously turned to look at Luofeng, ordering, Gold Peak, the primogenitor wants to nurture you. This is your fortune, make good use of it. Yes. Golden Horn Luofeng listened obediently. Let's go. The Golden Horn Master and Annihilation Master immediately followed the mountain path and left. Deep in the mountains, the primogenitor's body was faintly discernible. That huge head gazed down at Golden Horn Luofeng. Luofeng stood obediently beside. To be able to kill the Ghost Blade Knight, not bad. The primogenitor said. Luofeng understood that the absolute space was completely due to the primogenitor changing the universe laws. Naturally nothing could escape the primogenitor's eyes. He immediately said respectfully, Luck. Human, you don't think you can hide from me? The primogenitor's voice resounded throughout every inch of space. He was indeed recognized. Indeed an absolute genius that only appears once in a trillion eras. The primogenitor said slowly, Luo Feng, you are a human, not a member of our space beasts. Naturally, you can't be like the other space beasts and obtain our resources. Luo Feng understands. Golden Horn Luo Feng immediately entered the world ring. Simultaneously, the Masha clansman appeared. Believing that he had the Masha clansman, the primogenitor had long known about the control of the absolute space. Luo Feng returned to his human form and bowed respectfully. Human Luo Feng greets the primogenitor. Luo Feng unintentionally fell into danger and was unable to escape. He could only drift about and was brought here. It wasn't on purpose to hide from the primogenitor. When Luo Feng was weak, he tried to possess the golden horned beast. I hope the primogenitor will forgive me. Back then, when your home was forced into a desperate situation by the golden horned beast, it was your luck to be possessed. You coming here indeed wasn't your intention. I won't care about any of this, the primogenitor said slowly. Actually, before becoming undying, whether the space beasts were enslaved or possessed, the Alliance wouldn't care. Only the undying beasts would be brought here. Luo Feng was shocked within. The matter of Earth and the golden horned beast, very few humans knew about it. How did the primogenitor of the Space Beast Alliance know about it? Your arrival here wasn't a coincidence. It was arranged by your teacher, Mountain Traveler, the primogenitor said slowly. Luo Feng was stunned. Mountain Traveler? Mountain Traveler values you even more than his second disciple, Flame Emperor. The primogenitor said slowly. He specially invited me to open up the Space Beast Alliance's important grounds to you. There's no need to thank me. There's always a price to pay. Everything is equal. Your teacher Mountain Traveler has long paid the price. Luo Feng completely understood. Everything was indeed Mountain Traveler's doing. You walk the Beast God bloodline. And in the entire vast universe, the one who nurtures the absolute warriors of the Beast God bloodline is none other than me. The primogenitor said slowly. As for the ancestral god sect, in terms of nurturing the Beast God bloodline, we've only scratched the surface. Our space beasts are the true descendants of the Beast God. What? Luo Feng was shocked. Descendants? Actually, back then the golden horned beast was able to easily absorb so many blood river crystals. Even after training the 9-level manuals, the crystal's functions could be fully utilized. This had long made Luo Feng suspicious. Now, hearing the primogenitor of the Space Beast Alliance speak, the space beasts were actually descendants of the Beast God. My God, a huge secret. This was definitely one of the top secrets of the universe. My Space Beast Alliance's most important treasure land will be open to you. Even if I don't say it, you'll understand. The primogenitor gazed at Luo Feng. However, don't think it simple. Your teacher has already set a requirement for you. If you can't reach it, you'll be trapped there forever. Luo Feng blinked. Mountain Traveler's requirement is very high, to the point that it can even be considered ridiculous. The primogenitor gazed at Luo Feng. I believe you have no way of reaching your teacher's requirement. Even after 1,000,000,000 years, you won't succeed. Luo Feng frowned. These words were said by the primogenitor. Who was the primogenitor? The strongest warrior in the universe. The strongest warrior in the universe knew how many miracles Luo Feng had created. Even though he knew Luo Feng had trained for less than 100,000 years, he still dared to say such words. Obviously, Mountain Traveler's requirement was unbelievably high. I even made a bet with him. If you can succeed within 100,000 eras, I'll give you the most suitable set of treasures for the Beast God bloodline. If you fail, your teacher will lose an absolute treasure to me. The primogenitor gazed at Luo Feng. I can feel the fighting spirit and confidence in your eyes. I also know you're good at creating miracles. However, when you see your teacher's requirement, you'll understand what despair is. I even believe you'll be trapped there forever, unless you self-destruct and give up everything to leave. However, if you self-destruct and leave, it'll naturally be considered a failure. the primogenitor said. Luo Feng clenched his fists tightly and endured. Just watch. Even if you're the primogenitor, the strongest warrior in the universe, you actually dare say I won't succeed within 100,000 eras, you're underestimating me. However, just what kind of test did Mountain Traveler teacher set for him, to actually have such a huge bet with the Space Beast primogenitor? The Space Beast primogenitor's bet was an absolute treasure set. Mountain Traveler teacher even used an absolute treasure to bet. Go on in. I believe you won't succeed within 100,000 eras. The primogenitor's voice resounded throughout every inch of space. The black-clothed Luo Feng who was originally standing there vanished into thin air. P.S. 2 chapters completed. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1084. Luo Feng felt the time flow change, almost like he was passing through the universe pathway to the primal universe. Hua! Everything around him became clear. This is... Luo Feng looked ahead. The trees and flowers here were tall and majestic. The ancient trees were all over 100 kilometers tall. So, Luo Feng broke through the air and flew above the forest, surveying his surroundings from there. With a glance, this vast forest was a plain in the distance. With Luo Feng's field of vision, he could only see the forest and the plain. Both the forest and the plain had huge statues. These were the statues of the legendary 8 great natural beast gods. Furthermore, there were many statues of each innate beast deity. Some were sleeping, some were roaring, some were frolicking, different styles of natural beast god statues, and every one of them emitted pressure, almost like the real beast gods had appeared. Where is this? The Space Beast Alliance primogenitor said. He wanted to open the Space Beast Alliance's important grounds to me? Luo Feng surveyed his surroundings. Is this their important grounds? Not right. Time flow. Luo Feng's face was filled with shock. He had just connected with his Earth body's consciousness and swiftly felt the huge difference in the time flow between them. The difference was so huge that it shocked Luo Feng. In the actual universe, there was only 1 second, however, in this land and space Luo Feng was in, it was a full 10,081 seconds. Meaning to say, the time flow ratio had reached an exaggerated 1.10081. How can this be? The time ratio is actually this exaggerated. Luo Feng couldn't believe it, meaning to say that after 10,000 years here, only 1 year has passed in the actual universe. Even our human race's treasures like the Time Palace normally only allow time to be sped up by a few times, tens of times. Treasures like the Time Palace were normally created by the Universe Lords who had completely comprehended the space and time laws. The Temple of Time he created was actually a place for cultivation, but the flow of time here was much faster. Training within for 10 years, only 1 month had passed in the outside world. However, according to what Luo Feng knew, the Time Palace was extremely expensive. Normally 10 or 100 times acceleration was normal, 1,000 times acceleration was already astronomical. 10,000 times acceleration, at least the human race, didn't have such a time palace. Luo Feng. An ancient voice resounded throughout the land and skies. Luo Feng fiercely turned his head. In the distance, a black cloud flew over, emitting a pressure that could suppress the entire world. When the black cloud neared, it actually transformed into a golden-horned beast, and then transformed again, turning into a human, a white-robed old man with 9 horns on his head. Ancestor? Luo Feng hesitated. This is one of my clones. You're in a universe that belongs to the Star Behemoth Alliance. Another universe. Luo Feng was shocked. While chatting with Zhen, he already knew that the Astral Beast Alliance had a universe. Actually, Luo Feng could accept it. After all, the Space Beast Alliance was on par with the Great Alliance. Since the human race had a primal universe, it wasn't strange for the Space Beast Alliance to have a universe as well. And this is the beast god world of the universe. The primogenitor looked at Luo Feng. It's a place specially for nurturing the beast god warriors. Beast god realm? Luo Feng looked at this vast and boundless world. The beast god statues were filled with immense pressure, much stronger than the statue Hiroto left behind back then. This is the most important place of the Astral Beast Alliance. Even the geniuses of the Alliance rarely get the chance to enter. Your teacher Mountain Passenger is pretty generous, coming personally to ask for my help. The primogenitor looked at Luo Feng. However, I believe you won't succeed within 100,000 eras. 100,000 eras in the beast god world, only 100,000 years have passed in the actual universe. The primogenitor smiled. 1 era per year, you probably haven't seen it before. Yes. Luo Feng was indeed very respectful of such methods. May I ask what request teacher Mountain Passenger left behind? Luo Feng asked. What request do I have to reach before I can leave? The request is very simple. The primogenitor looked at Luo Feng. Defeat me and you can leave. Defeat you. Luo Feng's eyes stared wide open. Defeat the Space Beast Alliance's primogenitor? Defeat the strongest warrior in the universe? What a joke. I will maintain the same level of strength as your god body. The primogenitor smiled at Luo Feng. My body is as strong as yours. As long as you defeat me who has the same body, you can leave. How is that possible? Luo Feng shook his head. You are the strongest warrior in the universe. Your techniques are unbelievable. Even the Universe Lord wouldn't be able to do it. Not just the Universe Lord, even the strongest warrior in the universe wouldn't be able to do it. Right, even the Universe Lord wouldn't be able to do it. The primogenitor smiled at Luo Feng. However, the strongest warrior in the universe would be able to do it, because this is just a clone of mine. It can at most suppress the Universe Lord, but against the strongest warrior in the universe, it's still not enough. Don't tell me I have to become the strongest warrior in the universe to leave? Luo Feng shook his head. Impossible, it can't be that ridiculous. No matter how confident Luo Feng was, he didn't dare say he could become the strongest warrior in the universe within 100,000 eras. He believed his teacher Mountain Passenger wouldn't be that stupid. And no matter how good the Space Beast Alliance was, it wouldn't be able to nurture Luo Feng to become the strongest warrior in the universe. What's more, there was no way to nurture the strongest warrior in the universe. The Beast God Path, Space and Time Path etc. could only be trained up to the Universe Lord level. That was already the limit. There was no accurate way to become the strongest in the universe. To become the strongest in the universe, one could only rely on themselves. This was what Mountain Passenger had told Luo Feng back then. Relax. Your teacher has given you some hope. The primogenitor smiled. Luo Feng let out a sigh of relief within. Indeed, the requirements weren't that ridiculous. When you are at the undying level, I can only use Universe Lord level technique. The primogenitor smiled at Luo Feng. And when you reach the Universe Lord level, I can use Universe Lord level technique. And when you become a Universe Lord, I can use my strongest technique. No matter if you are an Undying, a Universe Lord, or a Universe Lord, this clone of mine will always maintain the same god body as you. The primogenitor smiled. It's just that as your comprehension of the origin laws increases, I can use more techniques. Luo Feng was stunned. A peak-level secret art of the Lord of the Universe? Of course, the pinnacle techniques. The primogenitor smiled. I'll definitely use techniques that are incomparably close to the ultimate level. Luo Feng felt a sense of despair. Preposterous. It was too preposterous. He was just an Undying, and he wanted to fight the Space Beast primogenitor? Even though the primogenitor could only use Universe Lord level techniques that were infinitely close to the ultimate level. But that could still be considered an ultimate technique. Defeat? Don't tell me I, an Undying, have to create a Universe Lord level technique? Luo Feng shook his head. What a joke. An undying creating a universe lord level technique? Never heard of it. Definitely impossible. If I break through to the universe lord level, that primogenitor would be able to use the universe lord level's ultimate technique. With his methods, his ultimate technique would probably be even stronger than the primal chaos city leaders. Luo Feng felt despair. When I become a universe lord, then the primogenitor will be able to go all out. There was no hope. In comparison, when he was at the undying level, he had a higher chance. Just an undying wanted to create the ultimate art of the universe lord? That was simply a dream. Right, I believe you won't be able to do it even in 1,000,000,000 years. The primogenitor smiled at Luo Feng. Hence, I'm naturally confident in my bet of 100,000 eras with your teacher mountain passenger. Ha ha ha, if you want to reach this requirement, there are actually only two paths. One, when you're at the undying level, create a universe lord level technique. Second, you can become the strongest person in the universe in my beast god realm. There are only these two paths. Hence, don't even think about becoming a universe lord, etc. After all, the moment you focus on your origin law comprehension, the time you spend on it will constantly increase. From the undying level to the pinnacle of the universe lord, just the origin law comprehension alone will require a long period of time. Hence it's even more impossible to succeed within 100,000 eras. You only have these two paths. There's a slight possibility. One is to become the strongest in the universe. There's a slight possibility. The other is to create a universe lord level technique at the undying level. There's a slight possibility. The primogenitor smiled at Luo Feng. Of course, it's just a slight possibility. I believe you'll never reach it, and will forever be trapped in the beast god world. Luo Feng felt helpless. No wonder this primogenitor, who stood at the pinnacle of the universe, dared to make such a bet. No wonder he was so confident. A slight possibility? This was purely in theory, however the actual probability was probably 1 in 1,000,000,000. This beast god world is opened to nurture you. The primogenitor pointed at the surroundings. The statues in the distance immediately shone brightly. Even parts of the plains in the distance shone with light. Even further away, light shot into the sky. The statues, the ground, and the walls of the distant mountain range. Some of them have nomological runes left behind, and some are secret arts. All sorts of god-body oscillation techniques, soul oscillation techniques, battle techniques, close combat techniques, soul attack techniques, spirit weapon techniques, there's everything. Some are weak while others are strong. There are even tens of universe lord level technique. You can learn as you wish. This beast god world is open to you everywhere. The primogenitor smiled. You can study all of them, unleash your talent and create another miracle. Haha, if you want to challenge me, you can challenge me anytime. Of course, if you become the strongest in the universe, you won't even need to challenge me. Explore as much as you want. Study as much as you want. I'll await your challenge, haha. 100,000 eras, haha, interesting. The primogenitor laughed and vanished into thin air. Has everyone guessed it? Nobody can guess what's going to happen next. Hee *, monthly votes, recommendation votes, all of them. Send as many votes as you can. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1085. Luo Feng watched as the space beast ancestor vanished and swiftly descended, landing beside a lake in the vast forest. He sat crossed-legged and closed his eyes to think. His heart gradually calmed down. Only then did Luo Feng open his eyes and start to think carefully about this matter. Teacher Mountain Passenger paid a huge price to give me this chance, allowing me to enter the Space Beast Alliance's important grounds. However, for me to defeat the ancestor's body, how can I do that? To become the universe's strongest warrior, that's too far away for me. Create the Universe Lord's ultimate technique? Luo Feng shook his head. My origin law comprehension is very low, barely at the entry level of the Universe Knight. To create an absolute technique, one first has to have origin law comprehension as the foundation. I have no foundation at all, how can I create it? Even if I use the beast god conception as the foundation, my beast god conception is only slightly higher than the origin law comprehension. Luo Feng shook his head. Origin law comprehension and beast god conception were the principles of the absolute technique. The origin law comprehension was completely comprehended. Even though the beast god conception wasn't completely comprehended, it was still memorized through trillions of simulations. However, my origin law comprehension and beast god conception are both very low. To create the Universe Lord's ultimate technique? How is that possible? Luo Feng looked up and surveyed his surroundings. Teacher Mountain Passenger made me come here. Could it be that the beast god realm can help me reach this goal? Luo Feng soared into the sky and became a beam of light, swiftly flying towards the nearest golden beast statue. The golden beast god was a fusion of the space and gold origin laws. It was also the path Luo Feng trained in. Luo Feng landed before a majestic golden beast statue. This huge horned lizard's thick right claw was tearing the ground, its long tail was slightly swaying, curving in mid-air. The entire statue had many complex engravings on its scales. These engravings were completely different from the beast god statue Luo Feng had. A new engraving. It also gave the entire statue a sense of peace and tranquility, almost as though the golden beast god was taking a leisurely stroll, casually scratching the ground with its claws. Luo Feng looked up with a curious expression. I clearly feel like this is an origin law engraving, however, why are the engravings on the scales different? After studying for a while, Luo Feng couldn't understand. So, Luo Feng broke through the air and flew towards the other golden beast god statue. After all, the golden beast god was the one he understood the most among the 8 great beast gods. The other golden beast statue also made Luo Feng feel like it was an origin law body. However, that golden beast god was emitting an incredibly terrifying killing energy, almost as though it was about to attack. The patterns on the scales changed again. One after another, the metal beast god statues appeared. Each of them was different. There was anger, tranquility, happiness, madness, determination, roaring. In different states, the scales of the metal beast god in different states were also different. Moreover, among those statues, some of the golden beast gods used their sharp claws to attack, some used their tails, and some used their horns. It seemed like any part of their bodies could be attacked. After looking at the gold beast god, Luo Feng looked at the thunder beast god, light beast god, other beast god statues. These statues were much stronger than the statues Hiroto left behind back then. It even made Luo Feng feel that these statues were very close to the little beast god statue he had. The 8 natural beast gods. Every beast god has many statues, and every one of them seems to have completely integrated the origin laws. Luo Feng was shocked within. After looking at the 8 statues, Luo Feng wandered around the beast god world. On the wasteland, on the ancient trees, on the walls, on the mountain peaks, at the bottom of the lakes, there were all sorts of techniques and carvings. When one got close to these places, one could feel the pressure emitted from the carvings. Some were pure engravings, while others were detailed introductions of origin laws. Techniques left behind by the space beasts in the past. Strong or weak. There were even tens of Universe Lord ultimate techniques. As for the pinnacle of Universe Lord techniques and the Universe Knight level techniques, there were countless. There were close combat techniques, spirit weapon techniques, hypnosis techniques, body amplification techniques, soul amplification techniques. It made Luo Feng's eyes blur. My soul amplification technique can only amplify 32 times. Even though the golden horned beast has its own amplification techniques, Deities of the World is a more basic one, its limit is only 36 times. The techniques here, most of them can exceed 80 times, some even reach 100 times. Luo Feng was very satisfied with them. If he memorized more techniques, body amplification techniques, soul amplification techniques, he wouldn't have to think of other ways to find them. He could easily train them to perfection in the beast god world. Of course, having the techniques didn't mean success. Just like many who received the inheritance of the god generals, those who truly received the complete inheritance could be counted on one's fingers. Space Beast Alliance's universe within the beast god world. The vast land and skies were endless. On the peak of the majestic mountain, Luo Feng leaned on the rock and gazed at the endless land and skies, exclaiming, "What exquisite techniques! The Universe Lord's ultimate techniques are indeed unfathomable. Even the primal Chaos City Leader Teacher's technique is only at this level. It's a pity. I'm still in a daze." Even though some of the techniques had some note. However, Luo Feng's comprehension was too low. It was like looking at a flower in a fog. He didn't understand anything. The Universe Lord's ultimate techniques are right in front of me. They all have notes and explanations, yet I can't understand them. And you want me to create them? Teacher Mountain Traveler, you have too much confidence in me. Luo Feng was helpless. This was a treasure trove, just from the beast god statues. Luo Feng was able to see every natural beast god state and state. Luo Feng felt many of the questions he had over the years suddenly cleared up. And Luo Feng had a feeling, the scales produced different amounts of pressure. And all of them were like origin laws, there was a secret within. I feel that every statue is an absolute technique. Luo Feng muttered, and there should be some connection between the statues. It's just that my level is still too low, I can't see through it at all. Luo Feng was actually in a daze at the start, having such a feeling as he browsed through the many techniques. He realized that the creators of these techniques all had notes at the back. They were all comprehended from certain beast god statues. This made Luo Feng understand immediately, these statues were definitely not ordinary. Comprehended? How do I comprehend? The creators of these techniques are mostly universe lords. How do I comprehend them? Luo Feng shook his head. Teacher Mountain Traveler, you might have to lose that ultimate treasure. Luo Feng said softly. Suddenly he was stunned. Not right. Luo Feng suddenly stood up. The ancestor is powerful. Teacher Mountain Traveler isn't stupid either. Luo Feng muttered to himself. In comparison, Teacher Mountain Traveler knows more about me. Since he dared to bet, it means he has some confidence, which means I have a chance of achieving it. Then where is this chance? Where is it? How do I achieve it? Luo Feng could vaguely feel that he had a way to achieve it, but he couldn't think of anything. After thinking for 3 days, he still couldn't think of anything. Forget it, 100,000 eras, that's 1 billion years, such a long time, there's no rush. For now, I'll focus on training the 9 calamities manuals. 9 calamities? 9 calamities? Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Training the 9 calamities manuals will definitely allow the golden horned beast to reach the perfect gene level. Last time I obtained the natural talent, I am the universe. This time, I might even get a natural talent technique. Even if I don't get it, the golden horned beast should be able to unleash I am the universe by then. I am the universe talent technique at the very least consumes such a huge amount of God body, even the ultimate techniques of the universe wouldn't be this ridiculous. And when my consciousness was bestowed, that light's power felt much stronger than the universe lord's. This I am the universe technique should be considered the universe lord's ultimate technique. Luo Feng was overjoyed. Right, the natural talent technique, I am the universe. The ancestor only told me to defeat his body. He didn't say I couldn't use my natural talent technique. Luo Feng laughed to himself, right, just like Bark Mirror Emperor who was only an undying. His natural talent technique's power can be considered at the Universe Lord level. I've reached the perfect gene level. The I am the universe technique is obviously much more powerful. Ha ha ha, 100,000 eras? I don't need 100,000 eras, I can do it in 100 years, only 3 days have passed in the actual universe. Luo Feng was filled with anticipation. He had a strong feeling, from the commotion of the I am the universe talent technique, its power definitely wouldn't be weak. Along with the consumption of such a powerful god body at the lowest level, it would definitely meet the requirement. When the golden horned beast unleashes I am the universe, it can completely defeat the primogenitor clone that can only unleash the universe lord pinnacle technique. Luo Feng was enlightened. He couldn't think of a way before, but now he had confidence. He had looked at the many techniques of the beast god realm, even though he was confused. He felt that I am the universe wasn't any weaker than any of them. Filled with anticipation, Luo Feng began to fully immerse himself. The golden horned beast's tail, back 2 claws, wings, upper back and head, these 7 areas all had at least 10 blood river crystals infused into them. The genetic amplification could reach up to 10 times. And the right claw, left claw and back all had 100 blood river crystals infused. The genetic amplification could reach up to 100 times. As he trained, the golden horned beast's life genetic level continued to rise. 7,000, 7,500, 8,000, 8,500, 9,000, 9,500. When the 6th level of the 9 level was completed, the golden horned beast's life genetic level had reached about 9,900 times. I'm just a little away from the perfect limit. Luo Feng was filled with pride. 7th level. The golden horned beast continued to train for the 7th level, causing its life genetic level to steadily rise, nearing the legendary limit. Just like back then when the ocean clone finally reached its limit finally, on the 62nd year of entering the beast god realm, the golden horned beast's life genetic level reached the limit of perfection. P.S. 2 chapters completed. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidien.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1086. The clear lake water rippled. The surface of the lake was covered in mist, permeating the surroundings. Beside the lake, Luo Feng sat crossed-legged. On his shoulder was a 1 m long golden horned beast. Perfect limit. Back then the ocean clone had reached this level, only after transforming into the endless ocean. The new ocean clone that was formed was merely 1,000 times stronger. I've finally allowed the golden horned beast to reach this level. Luo Feng smiled, at the same time waiting for the changes to happen. According to normal procedures, the moment one's life force reached perfection, there would be changes. The last time was when the universe origin laws descended, causing Luo Feng's consciousness to be drawn into the mysterious space, allowing the ocean clone to swiftly reach over 90,000 kilometers tall. Luo Feng sat there frowning. 1 second, 2 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. No changes. Why isn't there any movement at all? Luo Feng was shocked. After 62 years of training in the 9 Calamity Manual, he reached the perfect gene level. But this time, there was no movement at all. His divine body didn't change, and Luo Feng's consciousness wasn't drawn into that mysterious place again. Luo Feng stood up in shock. Don't tell me, don't tell me. Luo Feng's eyes stared wide, filled with unwillingness. He carefully thought about it and understood why there wasn't any change. Because this was another universe, and not the primal universe. Even though Luo Feng knew it was another universe, in theory, even though it was a different universe, gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, light, thunder, time, space, even the many fusion laws, everything was the same as the primal universe. Comprehending the origin laws and techniques was no different from the primal universe. Just like in the primal universe, stepping into the universe level, domain lord, sector lord, etc., It was exactly the same as in the primal universe. The primal universe was the largest and most vast universe, with trillions of races and countless life forms. And the primal universe and the Space Beast Alliance universe were much smaller. One big, two small. However, the laws, the Strong's training, etc., were all the same. Different universes would only have slight differences in time flow and environment. The big aspects were all the same. Hence Luo Feng thought. The moment he reached the perfect life gene level, the golden horned beast would evolve again. Even his consciousness could enter the mysterious space of this universe again. Wrong. It seems that there are differences between different universes. This universe of the Starry Sky Behemoth Alliance doesn't have any reaction to my perfect genetic level. Even his god body hasn't evolved. Luo Feng shook his head. What to do now? Luo Feng was troubled. Even though the golden horned beast's life gene level had reached a perfect level, and in terms of quality, it had reached the minimum requirement of using I am the universe. But in terms of quantity, it was very lacking. One had to know that a 90,000-kilometer tall divine body could only be used 10 times. The golden horned beast was only 1,000 kilometers. That was a few hundred thousandth of a 90,000-kilometer high god body. The moment it uses I am the universe, the golden horned beast's body would be completely exhausted before it could even form the technique. Relying on the natural ability I am the universe to defeat the primogenitor's body won't work. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. Then what do I do? At that moment, Luo Feng felt helpless. His clone's body was too small, so he couldn't use his innate secret technique. Did he have to create it himself? Just based on his law comprehension and beast god mentality, to create the Universe Lord's ultimate technique, that was simply the biggest joke in the world. What should I do? Luo Feng constantly thought, however he realized there was no hope. He wasn't even a knight. How could he create the Universe Lord's ultimate technique? Become the universe's strongest? Ridiculous. The beast god world was vast and vast. In one of the mountain ranges, on one of the mountain peaks, the white-robed primogenitor old man sat beside him. Opposite him was a green-robed old man with 2 crystalline horns. The two of them sat opposite each other. Mountain guest, looks like your disciple has fallen into a predicament. The primogenitor smiled. Don't rush. Mountain guest gazed into the distance. Whether it was the primogenitor or the mountain guest, both of them had sent their clones here. After all, this was the universe controlled by the primogenitor, just like how the primal universe was controlled by the primal Chaos City leader. This universe was controlled by the primogenitor. In the primal universe, the primal Chaos City leader was invincible. In this universe, even though the primogenitor was just a clone, the moment he borrowed the universe origin energy, he was still an invincible being. Hence, similarly, the universe's strongest mountain guest naturally wouldn't fall into a predicament. He could just casually create a clone. At the universe's strongest level, he could casually create another clone. You're really powerful. Back then you forcefully raised your second disciple's life genetic level to close to 10,000 times. Now the third disciple you've nurtured is even more extraordinary. He's already reached the perfect gene level. The primogenitor sighed. In terms of nurturing disciples, especially raising the life genetic level, I'm far from you. Mountain guest shook his head and laughed. This goes against the universe's laws. One has to pay a sufficient price. I've only nurtured these 2 disciples. If it were any more, I wouldn't be able to afford it. The primogenitor nodded. At their level, they were already standing at the pinnacle. Like the amplitude techniques, life genetic level, etc., they had no meaning to them. They had long reached the perfect level. Otherwise, how could they be called the universe's strongest? Everyone who can reach the perfect gene level will receive the primal universe origin energy's blessing. Their divine body can evolve to the perfect level. their consciousness can also receive the strongest talent secret technique. The primogenitor sighed, "What a pity! This is my universe." The primogenitor glanced at Mountain Guest. "My universe is far from being as powerful as the primal universe. I can't give him the talent secret technique. I can't make his divine body evolve either." The primogenitor held up the wine that was condensed from countless dew and took a sip. "His divine body hasn't evolved. Even if he has the strongest talent secret technique, he won't be able to use it. Moreover, he hasn't even received the strongest talent secret technique. If this was the primal universe, I'm afraid I'd lose this bet." "What a pity, this is my universe." The primogenitor looked at Mountain Guest. "I can control all unexpected factors. Your disciple can only rely on the beast god realm." "Quite confident?" Mountain Guest also held up the wine, took a sip, and sighed. "This wine is not bad, give me some later. This wine of mine is specially cultivated in this universe I control, in many special environments, before finally producing it. The cost of the effort is not small." The primogenitor looked at Mountain Guest and laughed. "However, your ultimate treasure is about to lose to me. This little wine is nothing. Old beast god, remember, 100,000 eras." Mountain Guest shook his head. "How long has it been? Don't be too confident." "Oh, you're very confident?" The primogenitor said. "Do you think that disciple of yours will be able to become the strongest expert in the universe in 100,000 epochs? Or will he be able to create the ultimate secret technique of the Lord of the Universe with his undying body? Or will he be able to create the ultimate technique of the strongest expert in the universe with his paragon body?" According to the bet, the moment Luofeng becomes the Universe Lord, then the primogenitor clone can use the Universe Lord ultimate technique. The ultimate technique used by the primogenitor clone will undoubtedly be the pinnacle of the ultimate techniques used by the Universe Lord. To defeat such a primogenitor clone, the only way is to create the universe's strongest ultimate technique. "I can only tell you." Mountain Guest looked at the primogenitor. "My disciple has hope of succeeding. Of course, if he can't comprehend it and fails, he can only blame himself for not being capable enough." "Hope? What a joke." The primogenitor still didn't believe it. 100,000 eras, it's only 100,000 years in the primal universe, just watch. Mountain Guest said, "In these 100,000 years, don't let any other warriors enter the beast god realm, don't disturb him." "Relax, I definitely won't purposely disturb him." The primogenitor said. "Where's the wine?" Mountain Guest said. The primogenitor flipped his hand and immediately an exquisite wine bottle appeared, floating in mid-air. "This is half of what I've accumulated," the primogenitor said. "I'm leaving." Mountain Guest flipped his hand and kept the wine. He turned and gazed into the distance. The distant Luofeng was deep in thought, following which he turned and took a step, vanishing into thin air. "Hope?" The primogenitor gazed below. Mountain Guest, that old punk actually said his disciple has hope of succeeding, becoming the universe's strongest, is definitely a joke. Which means, he thinks his disciple can create the Universe Lord ultimate technique with his undying body. Humph. If this Luofeng succeeds, it'll be an eye-opener for me. If he fails, that ultimate treasure will be mine. The primogenitor smiled and vanished into thin air. Luofeng sat by the lake for a total of 9 days, even studying his teacher Mountain Guest and the space beast primogenitor's mentality, but he still couldn't find a solution. Primogenitor, Mountain Guest, they are the strongest in the universe, their knowledge and abilities are at the pinnacle of the universe. The primogenitor doesn't believe I can do it. Since teacher Mountain Guest made this bet, he definitely thinks I have a chance of doing it, at least within 1 billion years. Luofeng pondered. He told me to come to the beast god realm, so to reach this requirement, I have to first search within the beast god realm. Luofeng understood. The first goal was the beast god realm. Throughout history, there have definitely been many that came to the beast god realm. After all, the techniques were obviously left behind by the universe lords and knights of the Space Beast Alliance. However, these powerful beings couldn't possibly create the universe lord ultimate technique at the undying level. The moment someone could do it, the primogenitor wouldn't gamble. Luo Feng nodded to himself. From this, it could be deduced that just relying on the beast god realm wasn't enough. First, I have to rely on the beast god realm. Second, I have to rely on some of my own secrets. Third, I still need a long time, otherwise Teacher Mountain Guest wouldn't have bet 100,000 eras. Luo Feng thought, 100,000 eras. That was 1,000,000,000 years. That was an extremely long time. P.S. Here's the first chapter. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1087. Luo Feng understood that if he wanted to succeed, he had to start from the beast god world. He also understood that his teacher paid such a huge price to let him enter the beast god world, it would definitely be of great benefit to him. Hence, Luo Feng once again began his tour of the beast god world. This time he was extremely serious and careful. First, he left a secret technique carving on the ground of a plane and learned 2 sets of amplitude amplification secret technique. One was a soul amplitude technique called 9 peak lock. When trained to the extreme, one could reach a soul amplitude of 99. 99, which was actually 100 times. The other was a god body amplitude technique, called Golden Beast God. When trained to the extreme, one could reach 100 times. Luo Feng originally thought that his training would be very difficult. However, he didn't expect Golden Beast God to be completed in one go. In a short 3 days, he reached the perfect level. Whether it was the Masha clansman, his earth body, ocean body or the golden horned beast, they could all unleash this god body amplitude technique. As for 9 peak lock, it was an extreme control of the godly energy. Its requirements for willpower and consciousness were extremely high. However, Luo Feng's willpower and consciousness were at the universe overlord level, and the universe overlord's soul amplitudes were all at a perfect level. Hence, it was easy for Luo Feng to train. After spending over a month, he actually managed to train 9 peak lock to a perfect level. My godly energy, willpower and consciousness, they are all at the universe overlord level. Yet, training them is so easy. Luo Feng sighed within. This was the difference in strength and difficulty. If it was an emperor level undying, probably not even 1 out of the tens of thousands of them could train 9 peak lock to its absolute peak. 9 peak lock and Golden Beast God, these 2 amplitude techniques took over a month to train. Luo Feng then continued to tour the Beast God world. The Beast God world had 64 Beast God statues. Each of the 8 great innate beast deities had 8 statues of beast deities. There were tens of thousands of secret techniques, 36 Universe Lord Ultimate techniques, 123 Universe Lord Pinnacle techniques, 3,000 Universe Lord Ultimate techniques, and tens of thousands of Universe Lord Pinnacle technique. There were also large amounts of seemingly random origin law engravings. He couldn't understand most of the secret techniques, and he could only vaguely understand some of the most basic secret technique. After studying it for half a year, Luo Feng arrived before one of the Golden Beast God statues, raising his head to carefully study it. Those absolute arts are useless against me. Those were all created by other experts. Even if I learn them, they would be most suitable for others. In my hands, they would be much weaker. Luo Feng looked at the Beast God statue, and many of the techniques have descriptions of studying the Beast God statue. Even the masters of the universe can comprehend these Beast God statues. In the entire Beast God realm, the most precious thing is these 64 Beast God statues. Luo Feng stared. In the Beast God realm, on one of the mountain peaks, the primogenitor stood casually, gazing at the distant golden beast statue in the vast forest where Luo Feng stood. He said softly, "You've actually stood before the beast god statue for a total of 3 years. Looks like you've realized, the beast god statue is the most precious thing." That's right. All the peerless geniuses and super experts of our Starry Sky Alliance know that the beast god statue is the key. There are many who understand this. However, those who comprehend the absolute arts, especially the Universe Lord's ultimate arts, are extremely few. And those who comprehend the Universe Lord's ultimate arts are all Universe Lords. The primogenitor was leisurely and carefree. He himself was clear. The other techniques of the beast god realm seemed precious, but they weren't much. The 64 statues were the true priceless treasures. Luo Feng stood before the 8 statues, studying them for a year at least, or 8 years at most. As for the thunder and light beast gods, the time he took to study them was much shorter. After all, he didn't walk the path of the other beast gods. The 64 statues took a total of 52 years. The more I look, the more I feel, it's perfect. Golden Beast God 8 statues. Luo Feng felt that after looking at the 8 statues of the Golden Beast God, the rage, joy, calmness, roar, madness, all sorts of situations were very familiar to him. Closing his eyes, it was almost as though he had personally seen the Beast God, the Golden Beast God. One less statue would make me feel incomplete. Luo Feng nodded within. Actually, just looking at the 64 statues, as long as one was a strong warrior, they would feel that the 64 statues were one body. The 64 statues represented the universe engravings, and if they could combine into one, it could completely form an absolute technique. Just like a man and woman, with one look, they would feel like husband and wife. The 64 statues, if one calmed down and looked at them, they would feel like they were one body. Every warrior of the Space Beast Alliance that came to the Beast God realm should be able to feel it. However, no one has been able to comprehend this technique. Luo Feng thought. Because of the Beast God realm's 36 most powerful universe techniques, some were comprehended from the Golden Beast God, some from the Thunder Beast God, and occasionally from 2 beast gods. However, from the aura left behind by the statues, they were all equally powerful. Obviously, the techniques were all about the same level. If one were to combine the 8 statues to create an absolute technique, it would definitely surpass the other technique. After learning the 2 oscillation techniques and studying the beast god statues, Luo Feng began to study himself. I have to succeed. 1. Rely on the beast god realm. 2. Rely on my unique body. 3. Rely on time. I've studied the beast god realm thoroughly. And myself, what's truly unique, even the absolute warriors of the Space Beast Alliance, other than the primogenitor, can't compare to, is probably the 9-level manuals, Star Pagoda, Natural Talents, I Am the Universe and Endless Dark Ocean. Luo Feng thought. The 9-level manuals, one of a kind in the universe. Star Pagoda, the universe's ultimate treasure. Other than the primogenitor, the chances of any other being in the Space Beast Alliance having such an ultimate treasure was extremely low. At least Luo Feng had never heard of it. The natural talent, I Am the Universe. This was a natural talent bestowed by the universe after reaching a perfect genetic level. One had to know that many unique special life forms only had a few thousand times the normal genetic level. Close to 10,000 times was rare. Not to mention reaching a perfect level. Space beasts weren't special life forms. Unless one had something similar to the 9-level manuals, it would be hard to reach such a level. Endless dark ocean, it meant that the god energy was almost endless. It was a pity that he was in another universe and had no way to absorb the energy from the endless dark ocean. He did as he said. Primal Universe, Luo Feng's Earth body first headed to the Star Pagoda, studying the countless stars and the engravings on the sky pillars. It was a pity. It felt even more profound than the Universe Lord techniques in the Beast God realm. He couldn't understand them at all. following which, he carefully studied the 9-level manuals. This was purely a technique to raise one's genetic level, and in terms of profoundness, it was comparable to the Star Pagoda engravings, far surpassing the Universe Lord technique. Similarly, he didn't understand the profoundness within, he could only train it step by step. Following which, returning to the endless dark ocean, he began to unleash his natural talent, I am the universe. Luo Feng's other bodies couldn't unleash I am the universe, unless the enemy entered the God Country. The endless dark ocean within the God Country was able to unleash I am the universe. Natural talent. I am the universe. Rumble, immediately the endless God energy ocean burned and became endless energy. In the air above the endless dark ocean, a huge egg-shaped ball with a diameter of 10 billion kilometers appeared, miniature universe. This is the universe? Miniature universe. Luo Feng's consciousness merged with the miniature universe, feeling incredibly excited. Ever since he got the talent, I am the universe, this was the first time he used it, according to the incomparably mysterious talent that was imprinted in his consciousness. When he used it, the God energy consumption rate was simply terrifying. Almost as soon as he used it, the God energy of the golden horned beast's God body was completely used up. Luckily, the endless dark ocean was vast enough. Miniature universe. The vast universe, with a diameter of 10 billion kilometers, it contained everything. Within this vast universe, there was chaos energy flow, and the miniature universe itself was Luo Feng. How mysterious! Absolute control, absolute control. The moment Luo Feng transformed into the miniature universe, he understood that he could split a portion of his God body to fight with his enemies within the universe, within his own miniature universe. With the pressure of the universe, his strength would rise greatly, while his enemies would be suppressed greatly. This was just one of the abilities. The strongest was universe explosion. Luo Feng was shocked. With just a thought, he could cause the entire miniature universe to instantly collapse into the universe destruction. Its power was unbelievable. What a mysterious technique! There's actually such a heavenly talent that can transform into a miniature universe. Luo Feng exclaimed. Simultaneously his consciousness began to carefully study the miniature universe. The membrane of the huge ellipsoidal sphere, the miniature universe, was formed by countless strands of law threads connecting together to form a huge mystical pattern of law, transforming it into chaotic air currents. The chaotic air currents revolved around the huge mystical pattern and condensed into a membrane. The other chaos energy flowed within the miniature universe constantly. The huge origin law engravings. This was Luo Feng's natural talent that he unleashed. He didn't understand it at all, and this was his first time personally seeing this origin law engravings. This origin law engravings were oval-shaped, formed from trillions of origin law threads that intersected and intersected. It was extremely complicated. This origin law engravings was the laws of the miniature universe, and Luo Feng's God energy consumption was to supply the entire miniature universe's consumption. Accurately speaking, this wasn't a true universe. A true universe's energy should be cyclical, it should never be consumed. However, Luo Feng's energy was constantly being consumed. Obviously, this origin law engravings should be a simplified version of the primal universe's laws. Even so, it was enough to stun Luo Feng. 2. Luo Feng was completely shocked by this engravings. This engravings had a beauty that shook the soul. It was more shocking than any ultimate technique, even more beautiful than the engravings on the beast god statues. P.S. 2 chapters completed, to be continued. If you like this work, please come to Qidien.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1088. Luo Feng was completely immersed in this shock, carefully admiring this huge and intricate miniature universe engravings. As time passed, the amount of God energy consumed in 90 seconds was comparable to the 90,000 kilometers tall ocean clone, 10,000 times genetic life form. However, the endless ocean could easily withstand it. This isn't this? Luo Feng was shocked to find that the incredibly complicated and intricate engravings could be completely separated, forming many small engravings. Every small engravings was from the 64 beast god statues. One of the statues had a total of 92 engravings, many of them were repeated, however it was obvious that they all came from the 64 beast god statues. And these 92 engravings had countless threads intertwining, almost like large amounts of spare parts finally forming a car. These 92 engravings, every part had countless threads intertwining, perfect and flawless, almost like it was made by nature, finally forming a miniature universe. How can this be? 64 engravings, combining and forming a miniature universe engravings. Luo Feng suddenly felt as though a new door had opened before him. If one didn't know about the 64 engravings beforehand, then facing the miniature universe engravings with trillions of origin laws intertwining and intertwining, one would only find it profound and unfathomable. However, right now Luo Feng felt that from the perspective of the engravings, it was obviously much easier. It was just a complex combination of the 64 engravings. It's unbelievable. Luo Feng was completely captivated. He had never realized that the high and mighty heaven-defying techniques could actually be analyzed from another perspective. Primal universe, in the vast space, a normal universe ship was flying. Within the ship, this disciple of mine has the 9 underworlds body. He's already reached the perfect life form level before undying. He must have received the strongest natural abilities. Mountain Passenger sat in the ship, saying softly, and the strongest natural abilities are the pinnacle of the countless natural abilities in the universe. Every single one of them can be considered perfect. And the 64 engravings, they're the perfect embodiment of the 8 beast gods. The 8 beast gods are the embodiment of the 8 great origin laws. The universe's laws can be split into metal, wood, water, fire, earth, light, wind, thunder, time, space. They can also be split into the 8 great origin laws. Mountain Passenger smiled. Mountain Passenger was already standing at the pinnacle of the universe. He could clearly see through everything. The most powerful secret arts can be broken down into 64 secret patterns. As for some low-level secret techniques, they can't even compare to a mysterious beast tattoo. They don't have the qualifications at all. Luo Feng looked at the 64 beast god statues in the beast god world and knew about the 64 engravings. The moment he unleashes his own special technique, he'll definitely discover the connection between the 64 engravings and his special technique. From the angle of the mystical patterns, I'll use the 64 mystical patterns as elements to create a secret art. There's no need to understand the principles behind each of the 64 mysterious patterns. All I need to do is memorize the 64 patterns and the structure of each one. Then, with reference to the complicated mysterious pattern structure of the strongest secret innate skill he obtained, we can definitely try this path. Once I succeed, it's not impossible to create a simplified version of the strongest talent secret technique. If he really succeeds, then it means that his attainments in the mysterious patterns are already extremely high. Using the 64 engravings as the basic elements to train, there were warriors of this level before the Great Apocalypse. If Luo Feng can achieve something in this area, along with his normal origin law training, his improvement will be even faster. He'll also be able to see through the mysteries of the universe's origin laws. Mountain Passenger waited silently. He was gambling. The path of the mysterious patterns, since the birth of the primal universe, no one had walked it before. The main thing was that very few had the qualifications to see the 64 engravings. Even without the guidance of the strongest talent secret techniques' perfect engravings, it was still hard to understand. However, before the Great Apocalypse, there were warriors of this level. This meant that this path was possible. Different paths could support each other, yet they all led to the same destination, the mysteries of the universe's origin laws. You haven't even spent 100,000 years to have such accomplishment. I can even endure the life and death inheritance. Now that I'm giving you a total of 1 billion years, I wonder if you'll have any results on the path of the mysterious patterns. Mountain Passenger waited silently. The path of the mysterious pattern training had always been a secret. After all, the Great Apocalypse was far away and unpredictable. During the Great Apocalypse, the mysterious pattern training was extremely secretive and rare. The number of people who trained in it was extremely few. Infatuated. Luo Feng was completely infatuated. He'd never thought that after the 64 engravings were combined, they could form such a heavenly technique. Luo Feng felt that the I am the universe technique was extremely powerful. It was like a heavenly book that he couldn't understand at all. But now he understood. This was the incomparably complicated combination of the 64 engravings. Some of the engravings were even repeated. A total of 92 engravings. Don't tell me these 64 engravings, when they combine, they have extremely great power? Luo Feng immediately began his research. In one of the mountain peaks of the beast god realm, the ancestor appeared and gazed below. That's weird. Why is he drawing the engravings over and over again? The ancestor looked from afar. Luo Feng was sitting crossed-legged in front of a golden beast statue. Around him, engravings were forming and the engravings began to combine. He's been drawing these engravings for over 10,000 years. The ancestor was suspicious. After Luo Feng studied the engravings, he realized that the engravings were extremely mysterious and hard to fathom. If he drew it wrongly, the power would be greatly reduced. However, Luo Feng completely followed the complicated engravings of the I am the universe and simulated a few simple combinations. Like a blind cat catching a mouse, he casually created 10 techniques. However, most of them were weak, comparable to some undying technique. The only one that was extremely strong was actually close to the third form of the 10,000 star Tao presentation picture. This shocked Luo Feng greatly. He understood. The engravings path was definitely a new path, and if he wanted to successfully defeat the ancestor within 100,000 eras, he would have to rely on this. At the start, Luo Feng was purely guessing. I am the universe's incomparably complicated engravings. There were trillions of ways to combine origin law threads. Luo Feng started purely copying and randomly guessing. Just like that, after over 10,000 years, he had successfully created many techniques. Most of them were weaker. However, time after time of experimentation, Luo Feng discovered the differences in these combinations. From practice, he came up with possibilities. From each possibility, he came up with theories. During the first 100,000 years, Luo Feng was completely exploring. To try and guess something that was comparable to the third form of the 10,000 star Tao presentation picture, he only managed to do it twice. Obviously, relying on guessing was extremely difficult. After the exploration phase, Luo Feng gradually had some patterns, and Luo Feng made a decision to temporarily abandon the other 56 engravings and completely study the 8 great engravings of the Golden Beast God. Because from the 100,000 years of exploration, it was clear that Luo Feng's guessing was the most accurate of the 8 great engraving diagrams, and his comprehension was also the fastest. After 1,000,000 years, Luo Feng had some understanding of the 8 great engravings. Over 10 million years, Luo Feng's understanding of the many combinations of the 8 patterns, their mysteries, effects, power, etc. was completely grasped within his heart. Of course, these he grasped. Compared to the I am the universe, this incomparably complex pattern combination was just the tip of the iceberg. However, this tip of the iceberg was completely grasped by Luo Feng. Within these 10 million years, Luo Feng had finally created a universe night-level ultimate technique by chance. Even though he didn't understand the fundamentals, it was like a natural talent technique. Luo Feng had already memorized the way to unleash it, memorizing the countless origin law threads structure and unleashing it in an instant. Logically, this was impossible. The countless origin law threads had to be unleashed in an instant. If one didn't understand the fundamentals, it was impossible to unleash it. Unless it was like a natural talent technique, imprinting it within one's consciousness. However, in truth, Luo Feng didn't need to unleash all of his origin law threads. He only needed to unleash a few engravings and then carefully control them. Vast and profound. The path of the engravings, Luo Feng felt that it was profound and unfathomable. Maybe it was an unorthodox path, but it was a path that led to the highest path. Did Teacher Mountain Passenger already know of this training method, and let me come to the beast god world? But why has humanity never had such a training method before, and I've never heard of it before? Luo Feng was suspicious at times. However, without a doubt, this is indeed an unbelievable training method. The engravings were like components. The universe was like a skyscraper. Countless components eventually formed the skyscraper, and the construction methods could be split into tiling, carpentry, mechanics, etc. Luo Feng had already researched and understood over 900 million ways to combine the engravings. He had completely grasped over 100,000 of them. As this was a completely foreign path, everything depended on Luo Feng's exploration. Hence, everything was difficult at the beginning. As he got started, Luo Feng's speed of grasping the combinations gradually increased. Immersed in the 8 great engravings, Luo Feng forgot about the flow of time. Time passed quickly. Tens of millions of years passed by. Luo Feng frequently studied the 8 great beast drawings, occasionally stopping to study the engravings and create new technique. At the highest peak of the beast god world, the primogenitor frowned as he gazed below. Luo Feng had been in the beast god world for 180 million years. As time passed, the primogenitor completely understood from Luo Feng's training process, engravings training, this was a path that led to the highest path. This time I've failed. Mountain Passenger is indeed powerful. He actually knew of such a training method. He actually believed that his disciple would be able to succeed on this foreign path. The primogenitor also deduced that the engravings training method, its weakness was that the foundation wasn't solid enough. Its strength was that one could occasionally get lucky and create a heaven-defying technique. The primogenitor's expression suddenly changed. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian.com to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation.